the Sunday Night Anthem, presented by Uber Eats.
Fantastic!
Oh my goodness! Wow!
We're having some fun now.
We greet you on an overcast December night in the Metroplex. At about 18 miles from Dallas, it's Arlington, Texas, at AT&T Stadium, packed with over 90,000 fans to see the red-hot 8-3 Dallas Cowboys. Led by their quarterback, who is back, Dak Prescott, and taking on the 2016 MVP, Matt Ryan, and the Indianapolis Colts. It's Week 13 of Sunday Night Football on NBC. And thanks for having us in. Mike Tirico, Chris Collinsworth, Melissa Stark here in a little bit. So we're sitting right here opening night. All the optimism, 26 years without a title. It could end this year. Then Dak hurts his thumb. Team struggles a little bit. Not too bad, though. But now, Chris, it's December. The optimism's back. Should it be?
It changes weekly, as we well know, but the Cowboys look tough right now. They've been averaging 34 points a game since Dak's return. They've got two good backs that can run the football. And this defense is just flat out intimidating. 45 sacks, leads the league. Micah Parsons, Defensive Player of the Year. You can make a strong case.
On the other side, Indianapolis, you can write a drama book about this whole season. What, you have a new quarterback coming, you have a head coach fired, offensive coordinator fired, star from the past comes out of nowhere, and he's the head coach. More on all that as we go through the night. But on the field, they've played their best games against two really good teams, Kansas City and Philadelphia. How do they do it tonight in Dallas?
I think Jonathan Taylor, he just flat out has to have a day running the football. The Cowboys have been a little bit vulnerable trying to stop the run at times during the course of this season. But for me, the other part of it is the Colts just need to take some chances down the field. They have big wide receivers. Give them a chance to make some plays.
Since Jeff Saturday's the coach, they've been in every game. They're 1-2, but they could easily be 3-0. We look forward to it tonight from Arlington. It's the Cowboys and the Colts for you on Sunday Night Football.
Sunday Night Football is brought to you by Hyundai. It's your journey. And by Untuck It, shirts designed to the following presentation of the National Football League.
Fans, to honor America, please stand and join us in singing the national anthem. Tonight's colors and full field American flag are being presented by servicemen and women representing each of the 6 branches of the armed forces. Joining Cowboys players on the sideline are 17 Medal of Honor recipients. And performing tonight's anthem, our official anthem trumpeter, Freddie Jones.
Salute to Service Night here in Arlington. Those National Medal of Honor recipients highlighted this weekend here. The museum honoring all of those who have received this honor is under construction here in Arlington, and the Cowboys are a huge part of that endeavor. More on the Colts story tonight. And a good evening to Melissa Stark.
Well, hello, Mike. And 5 Sundays ago, Jeff Saturday was hunting in Georgia with his 16-year-old son, Josh. Tonight, he's coaching his 4th NFL game. I asked his former teammate and now wide receivers coach, Reggie Wayne, what it's been like with Saturday at the helm. Wayne said he is definitely old school. He calls guys out and makes them accountable. He came in and said we need a faster tempo. He does things like we did back in the day here. He is a leader of men. I know that for a fact. As for his players, center Ryan Kelly said, when they first hired Saturday, it sounded crazy, but he's brought a new energy level. He's an authentic energy guy. And running back Jonathan Taylor said, Saturday is so passionate, it almost feels like he's still playing. He's a Colt for life. He helped build this organization and will do whatever it takes to make it better. Saturday told us he is hooked. He loves being part of a team again, and there is nothing more fun than teaching.
Well, tonight, Melissa, he coaches against Mike McCarthy, who he played his last game for with the Packers back in 2012. And even with that Titans loss today to the Eagles, still a long shot for the Colts to get back in the race. Cowboys, on the other hand, need a win to stay 2 back with 5 to go. And that Giants-Washington tie actually helped the Cowboys because nobody can get up to their spot where Dallas sits tonight, even if they lose, with 8 wins. So the Colts going to kick it off here tonight. Indy won the toss and deferred. Chase McLaughlin will kick it for Indianapolis, and Kevontae Turpin, the very good return man for the Cowboys, set to bring it back. Roof closed here at AT&T Stadium, and they told us it was one of the harder tickets of the year to get. Everybody wants to be here. Off we go with a Turpin return. Good solid hit at the 17-yard line to begin the night. One of their top special teamers, Grant Stewart, the stop. Here's the Dallas offense.
Dak Prescott, Mississippi State.
Ezekiel Elliott, the Ohio State University.
Tony Pollard, the University of Memphis.
CeeDee Lamb, Oklahoma.
Noah Brown, Ohio State University.
Dalton Schultz, Stanford.
Tyler Smith, Tulsa.
Connor McGovern, Penn State.
Tyler Biadasz, Wisconsin.
Zach Martin, Notre Dame.
Terrence Steele, Texas Tech.
We're set at red hot. That line leading the way. 36 points a game, the last 4. It starts with a Pollard run and won't go anywhere. This is a very good run defense. Grover Stewart made the tackle. So the Dak story, game 6 back in the lineup after the thumb injury on the opening Sunday night of the season. Despite some interceptions, he has played well. As you look at those numbers in the last 5 games, most of those picks, all of them, as a matter of fact, coming in first halves of games. Says he's been a little aggressive, but he wants to stay there because this offense has looked good. No gain on first down. Second down, it's a pass caught to Noah Brown to the 24-yard line. It'll set up 3rd and about 4 against this Indy defense. Tackled by Isaiah Rodgers.
Yeah, and you saw the stop by the Colts there on the first down play. They are very good inside. Grover Stewart, who made that play, DeForest Buckner, a lot of power inside. So as the Cowboys try and attack them, maybe a little bit more on the edges, that Unique Ngakoue, Kwity Paye, instead of in there.
Pollard remains the back. CeeDee Lamb in motion. Prescott throwing in the middle. Deflected and nearly intercepted. As DeForest Buckner was coming back off the line of scrimmage, Rodney McLeod broke it up in coverage, and the Cowboys 3 and out.
Let's take a look. Dak Prescott, you could tell they were already took away his first look, had to come back to the middle of the field. And Mike, as a guy who's played in games where either I was a part of a big underdog or a big favorite, that's a good way to start, because the underdog team just wants to feel like we need a little respect here, and right off the bat they get it.
Brian Anger set to punch it away. Dallas Flowers, exciting return man. Fair catch, runs up.
Whoa.
A lot of contact. Don't think the ball hit anybody. It's covered by the Cowboys here, and we have penalty markers down on this one. Flowers is not an experienced punt returner. Lit it up as a kickoff returner in the second half last week against Pittsburgh. Waiting for that first one. and he was interfered with by Kelvin Joseph of the Cowboys.
Yeah, the only question is, did Joseph get pushed into the returner? And that's what they will debate here.
Fair catch interference, number 1, kicking team, 15-yard penalty, first down.
Carl Jeffers has worked a couple of Super Bowls, our referee here tonight, so a good stop, as you were alluding to, Chris, for a confidence build and a nice place to begin. Good starting field position for the Indianapolis offense.
Matt Ryan, Boston College.
Jonathan Taylor, Salem City.
Alec Pierce, Cincinnati.
Paris Campbell, The Ohio State University.
Michael Pittman, USC.
Moali Cox, VCU. Bernard Ryman, Central Michigan.
Quentin Nelson, Notre Dame.
Ryan Kelly, Alabama. Will Fries, Penn State.
Dennis Kelly, Purdue.
And Kelly is in there because of an injury. Braden Smith is out tonight on that offensive line with an illness. They blocked for Jonathan Taylor for 3 yards there. The Braden Smith loss is very big against the top pass rushing team in the NFL. So a lot on Dennis Kelly, 73. Ryan Kelly is the center, 78. A couple of Kellys trying to stop Micah Parsons and company. Four for Taylor on first down. Matt Ryan's first throw of the night is caught in the middle. Kylan Granson, the tight end who was out last week, back in the lineup. First down, and Indy's going to jump the ball. At the 40-yard line, turn and give it to Taylor. Initial contact's going to limit him just a couple of yards as he was stopped by Donovan Wilson and Micah Parsons. So Matt Ryan, the quarterback here, been doing this for a long time. He's seen a lot, but this year has been eye-opening. 14 years in Atlanta. He asked for the trade. Got here. Looked like a perfect fit, right? Veteran quarterback, great offensive line, terrific running back in Taylor. The O-line has struggled, so did Ryan. He was injured and benched after 7 games. Put back when Saturday became the head coach. And a good leg-moving run by the 34 defense.
DeMarcus Lawrence, Butler Community College.
Neville Gallimore, Oklahoma.
Oso Dikazua, UCLA. Dorrance Armstrong, Kansas.
Micah Parsons, Penn State.
Leighton Vander Esch, Boise State.
Anthony Brown, Purdue. Jaron Curse, Clemson. Donovan Wilson, Texas A&M.
Malik Hooker, The Ohio State University. Trayvon Diggs, Bama.
Lead the league in sacks, second in points allowed, trying to stop 3rd and 4, and they stopped the run just a yard for Taylor as DeMarcus Lawrence came off the line and snuffed that out. Let's see what Jeff Saturday does. The night's first decision will be a 51 or 52-yard field goal attempt.
Yeah, it's so hard to block Lawrence. Not only can he just run over you, but he has the kind of wiggle that a running back has as well. So both of these guys on the edge, no matter who you're trying to block, whether it's DeMarcus Lawrence, Micah Parsons, think about trying to tackle one of the best scat backs in the game, and that's what it's like trying to block those guys.
Colts were 1 player shy. Moali Cox runs out. Enough time on the clock for Chase McLaughlin from 52. He's made 6 50-plus kicks this year. Make that 7. So a terrific start for the Colts. A stop, good field position, a score, 3-0 Indianapolis. Brought to you by Hyundai, it's your journey. By Rinvoque. And by Puss in Boots, The Last Wish, in theaters, Christmas. In stadiums around the Metroplex, around Texas, high school playoffs wrapping up. That's DeSoto beating Harker Heights 60-24. One of the powers advanced to the state semifinals. The state finals are right in this building in a couple of weeks. In fact, they have 5 triple headers. Just great action. All the divisions and all the classes of high school football in the great state of Texas, where it means so much. Colts up 3. Turpin from the goal line brings it out. Again, that speed wave gets over the 25 to the 28-yard line. Let's meet the Indianapolis defense.
Quiddy Pay, Michigan.
DeForest Buckner, Oregon.
Grover Stewart, Camilla, Georgia.
Unique Ngakwe, Maryland.
Bobby Okereke, Stanford.
Zaire Franklin, Conwell Middle School.
EJ Speed, Tarleton State.
Isaiah Rogers, Blake High School.
Julian Blackman, Utah.
Rodney McLeod, UVA.
Stephon Gilmore, Finley Road Falcons.
The big miss in there, the Pro Bowl nickelback Kenny Moore, out with an ankle injury, suffered Monday night against Pittsburgh. Officially from the 27, it's Pollard again on this drive. He'll get 3 to the 30. It's always the conversation. Tony Pollard, Ezekiel Elliott, the balance here, and it's been Pollard the first couple of drives.
Yeah, the one thing that hasn't been the conversation is which side do you run the football toward, and Zach Martin and Terrence Steele over on that right-hand side. Whether you have Tony, whether you have Zeke, it just doesn't matter. But those two guys, they're different, but they're both tremendous backs.
2nd and 7, Lamb in motion, swinging out to Pollard. Sensational pass catcher out of the backfield. We'll give him 10 and a first down for the Cowboys, their first of the night.
Yeah, there's nothing quite like an easy pass for 10 yards, right? And you're a quarterback and you come out and you're a little nervous and you're getting amped up before the game and you just swing it out to Pollard and it's just that easy. And that's what gets quarterbacks in a groove early in the game, and you hear coaches talk about throws like that all the time.
From the 40, Dak will throw, got rid of it and caught. They're a great tight ends. This is the first one of the bunch. Dalton Schultz lost the football, but after he was down, it's a gain of 11 and a first down with a fifth-year man out of Stanford.
So Bobby Okereke really was the one that got beaten on the play on the coverage, but then he turned around and almost got this thing out with a good punch from Dalton Schultz.
Cowboys going quick just in case. Pollard runs to the edge. He'll get 2 or 3 yards. Some bodies were taken out on that Colts sideline.
Can we see that one more time?
It's close.
That's what
really
I thought
close.
too. There was a reason they hurried up. Man, that ball looked out to me. Couldn't see the right knee, but the left knee was not down.
It was on the Colts sideline. They had the best look at it from their side. And the Cowboys, good job, as many teams do. You hustle up and try to get it out as quick as possible. Get the snap out. 2nd and 7. Ezekiel Elliott's first run of the night is a first down to the 36-yard line. 7th-year man at Ohio State, missed a couple of games with a knee injury, looking good the last 2.
So these inside zone plays, everybody wants to get back behind Zach Martin, right? So would I. And you can see the way that Zach Martin, Terrence Steele, even though the play looks like it's going off to the left, those plays are intentionally cutting back to get behind their better side.
Elliott left. 32-yard line. Both of these teams love to run the ball, and the difference is Dallas can do more damage off the play action game. But the Cowboys starting to establish their run on this drive.
Yeah, the other thing that you see out of the Cowboys a lot more here lately is they bring 4 tight ends in and out of the game. So 2 rookies and Jake Ferguson, Peyton Hendershot, Sean McKeon was in on that last one, Dalton Schultz, a little bit of the pass catcher and a good blocker as well. So it's a different look.
2nd and 5, 3 in a row for Zeke. On the inside, E.J. Speed, first contact. Elliott and the pile continue to move to give you 3rd and a couple coming up as we go past halfway through this opening quarter.
For Mike McCarthy, he knows exactly what he's looking for with this defense. They will pop in and out. They'll play some 4-man lines, some 5-man lines, and they have very specific plans for each of those. So depending on what the reaction is on the defensive side of things, that's what Dak will get to with his audibles at the line.
3rd and 2 out of the shotgun. Elliott runs it inside and leans forward. Let's see who that mark is. He's laying across the first down line. And as they come in and spot it, it's going to be short. And it'll be 4th down. So he ended up well over the line, but it's knee down earlier than that. The officials determined a 4th and short coming. And Mike McCarthy was looking up to see the same thing you were looking at. Bunch of tight ends in. And Elliott, the up back, will take it for the first down. And not just take it, but gain nearly 7 yards. Such a good look with Elliott and Pollard in the backfield together.
We talked about these tight ends. Watch blocking down right here by Jake Ferguson. He looked tremendous in that game a week ago, but so many times people want to just compare the yards per carry average of Tony Pollard, 5.6 against Ezekiel Elliott, 4.1. It doesn't count goal line and short yardage plays, right? That hurts the average and helps the team.
Michael Gallup, top of the screen. Dak pulls it, throws in the middle, incomplete. Trying to get it to Dalton Schultz. Yannick Ngakoue was bringing pressure on Prescott.
Yannick Ngakoue on the outside has clearly been the best pass rusher for this team for a long time. He has 8.5 sacks and just is going to be a consistent thorn for Dak Prescott.
Wherever he shows up, he just gets 8.5 sacks. A very good start to his career. 2nd and 10. Inside give Pollard. He'll gain nothing there, and it's 3rd down. And Chris, this is, you know, we talked to Mike McCarthy, and we talked to the folks around Dallas, and one of the first things everybody said, this Colts roster is good. Look at their record. We understand the problems, but the roster, especially the guys out here right now on the defensive side of the ball.
Well, talk to their rival in Philadelphia. The Colts really had them beat.
Yes, they did.
They had them beat. They couldn't score from the 5-yard line. It would have been lights out for the Eagles in their 2nd loss.
Dak organizing the guys. Colts bring 5. Prescott throws underneath, complete. CeeDee Lamb, was he down? They say no for now, and he's into the end zone for a touchdown. CeeDee got spun around, but they ruled no body part was down. Stephon Gilmore stunned. For the moment, Cowboys lead.
That's the way I saw it as well. Let's take a look. Cloud underneath. Did anything ever touch? I didn't see it.
I think it's good.
How good is CeeDee Lamb? He is just taking over the Dallas Cowboys passing game. Did that forearm get on the ground? I didn't see it.
That'll be the one body part to examine. That left forearm coming down. And we await scoring play confirmation from New York. And looks like they're going to confirm this. And they have. Dallas touchdown.
What a play.
Wow.
What a play. He's been doing it all year. He's such a difference maker on this football team.
The receivers have become so good at that. Trying to keep themselves alive. Use the hand to not let another body part hit. Brett Maher off the left hash adds the extra point. So it looked like they were going to stop him there on 3rd down. Brought pressure. Land the crosser. Great defensive back to bring him down. CeeDee puts a hand down. Takes it to the house. Touchdown Cowboys. And the lead. 7-3. You on The Voice, live Mondays and Tuesdays at 8, 7 Central, followed by That's My Jam. It's on NBC and streaming on Peacock. An overcast few days here in the Metroplex. Roof covered, 70+ degrees inside. Brett Maher kicking to Isaiah Rodgers, and Rodgers 7 deep to give it a whirl. Sprinting with a flag down past the 25, but this one in all likelihood to come back. 2 flags on the far side and a 3rd one thrown here on the sideline as the players were separating to their own side. This will be a lot for Carl Cheffers to sort out here. It's a Dallas team that is the 2nd most penalized team in the league. Only Denver more penalties. Dallas is 7.5 a game. And on Thanksgiving evening here against the Giants, they had 13. There's Deion Jackson grabbing Sam Williams. And here's what happened on the end of the play on the sideline. So the way Peyton Hendershot went in with his helmet, and then there was more conversation afterwards. So a lot for the 7 officials to sort out. And they sort.
They are shuffling the deck right now.
There are fouls by both teams on the play. Unsportsmanlike conduct, number 89 of the kicking team. Holding on the return team. Both fouls will offset at the spot of the return team's foul. First down.
Okay, so it goes back to where the Indianapolis foul occurred. So Matt Ryan will take over from there. Chris, when we started talking to Matt Ryan last night, the great thing was his first 15 seconds of not being able to spit out a word. He was just like, couldn't find the words to describe what the last month has been like for him.
Yeah, we were like, how's it been? You okay? And he's like, I go, that pretty well sums it up, doesn't it? But you lose your offensive coordinator, then you lose your head coach, and then they name a 31-year-old offensive coordinator that's 6 years younger than you are. And, of course, you go out and win the first game, and it's just been crazy. But really the story was him getting benched and Jeff Saturday sort of bringing him back.
So the 21 gives to Taylor, tries to get around the edge, does a nice job doing that with a run of about 6 yards. You mentioned the 31-year-old offensive coordinator, Parks Frazier.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of stories from different people in my day, but Parks Frazier is right up there, 31 years old, and basically he was the last offensive body standing in the room, so they asked him to call the plays.
26-yard line, run inside with Taylor. Good sift by Taylor, who's got the speed on the back end to make it pay when he uses the power. A gain of 14 and Indianapolis first down.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with the way that the Colts run block. There never has been. And Jonathan Taylor is a phenomenal guy. I mean, you just take a look at what he did a season ago. He just shattered the rushing title, won it by 552 yards. So if they can keep it with the run game and play action, they'll be tough.
And a first down shot downfield to the rookie Pierce. Alec Pierce with a catch at the 25-yard line. The rookie out of Cincinnati, who's terrific in the air, using his 6'3" height, flips the field to the 15-yard line.
Well, what do you know? The Indianapolis Colts, who have the lowest average depth of target, just threw one up. And that's what I'm talking about. Their receivers are 6'3", 6'4", 6'7" out there. Give them a chance.
Second longest catch of his rookie season. Taylor inside for a yard or so. It's funny, you know, we get done with one game, then you start diving in. And what have we heard? What's been the narrative? Colts offensive line, which was supposed to be great, isn't all that good. And then you put on the tape the last couple of games, and you texted me that reaction. Pretty good.
They're fine, and especially when they're running the ball. The one thing I will say surprised me probably the most is, I mean, Matt Ryan is an under center quarterback. He is really good at play action from under center, going backwards, and then finding that. And they've been predominantly shotgun for the most part while he's been here.
Here is Ryan firing, end zone open for the touchdown. Ashton Doolin. His first of the season. Fourth of his career.
Well, we all know about Trayvon Diggs. He gets a lot of interceptions, but sometimes he thinks he's going to get an interception, and he wants to jump a route to get the interception, and he gives up a really easy touchdown. Good job by Ryan with that little shoulder shimmy to make him really believe that was a slant. That is the MO. You get the great plays out of Diggs, and you get a few of those.
Chase McLaughlin for the extra point. And the Colts, against good teams, they just show up and play hard. Ashton Doolin's last catch was week 5. Plays college football at a place that they don't have a program anymore. Malone in Canton, Ohio. He's got a touchdown tonight in Arlington, Texas. This week, NFL players wearing customized cleats in honor of the causes they support through My Cause, My Cleats. Text MCMC to 635-635. You can hear players' stories and bid on their cleats for charity. And we all think so much of this endeavor with the NFL and the players. Great opportunity for them to express who they are and what's important to them. Turpin from his own end zone tripped up at the 15-yard line. to Melissa.
Mike, more than a dozen Cowboy players and the coaching staff are wearing cleats supporting the Medal of Honor Museum being built here in Arlington. The Medal of Honor is the nation's highest recognition for valor in combat. And yesterday the team met with a number of Medal of Honor recipients. I spoke with offensive lineman Zach Martin, and he said this cause is a no-brainer. He told me, we play a game. They put their lives on the line, and sometimes their teammates aren't coming home.
It is an incredible endeavor, that museum that will open here in Arlington, Texas in 2024. Elliott to carry here. Gain of 5 for Zeke on first down. 3,511 service members all time have received the Medal of Honor, and the Jones family, very active. They've contributed $20 million to support this project for the museum.
And this is valor in combat. This is on the battlefield. All those great Americans.
It's great to see some of them on the field here this evening. 17 on hand, as Melissa said, run by Elliott for 4. We'll have 2nd and 1 with 2 minutes left in this opening quarter.
You know, it's kind of interesting for me to just watch the Colts defense take the field there. I mean, this is a Colts offense that's been averaging just under 16 points a game. They're almost there, right? They're almost there. We're in the first quarter. And so the defense is like, hey, let's go make a play out here. Let's go.
Here we go. Third and 1, and they're going to throw here. And Prescott comes back to Noah Brown. 33-yard line. Brown with the grab and a first down in front of Julian Blackman, the safety. It's the guy calling the shots for the Indianapolis defense. Gus Bradley, the former head coach in Jacksonville. He's been a defensive coordinator or a head coach most of the last decade and a half in the NFL. And matching play calling with Kellen Moore on the other side, the Dallas offensive coordinator. He's been on a roll. Play action, first down, setting up the screen. It was read very well. No place for Jake Ferguson to go. Rodney McLeod up from his safety spot to stop it.
Jump into one of those man coverages, and then you're going to see McLeod come right down. And when you're in man coverage and they try and throw a screen to your guy, thank you very much. This is an upbeat Colts team playing on national television tonight. I don't think they were too crazy about being 11-point underdogs to the great Dallas Cowboys.
2nd and 15, the pressure's on. Prescott escapes on the run. He throws incomplete as he tried to fire it on the sideline. See if everybody gets out of there without any harm done. We got 3rd down coming up. Schultz, the intended receiver.
Yeah, really good play here by Prescott. He gets out of the pocket, and that throw was good enough to make it a 3rd and very short, but instead now they're put themselves in a vulnerable position. Ball should have been caught.
Interesting, Jason Peters, the 40-year-old, is in there on this series at left tackle with Tyler Smith, the normal left tackle, bumped in to the left guard position where he has been getting some work in practice. 3rd and 15. And Prescott given time. Elliott 15 to get. Going to get about 11 or 12 of them, but it was stopped at the 40. A punt will start quarter number 2. After 1 in Arlington. Surprising. Colts 10, Cowboys 7. And Sunday Night Football continues after these messages.
AT&T Stadium with Cowboys head coach Mike McCarthy. And Mike, 2 drives, 2 scores for the Colts. What do you do defensively?
Well, I think just like anything, I mean, we all recognize you got to stop the run. They hit us on a long ball and a double move, so just got to keep playing.
And what about offensively? How do you get in the end zone?
Well, just, we had the negative, on the first down, on the screen there, lost 4 yards, but just got to stay favorable down the distance, keep playing.
Thanks, Mike.
Thank you.
Hi, Melissa. Thank you. Game 249 as a head coach for Mike McCarthy, the 13 years in Green Bay. This season 3 in Dallas has the Cowboys at 8-3. A couple behind the Eagles in the NFC East, trying to tighten that gap, but Philadelphia won today. Those 2 teams meet on Christmas Eve. 4th down to begin this 2nd quarter, and Brian Anger will kick. Dallas Flowers back to receive. And Flowers going to let it go, and it'll go all the way in the end zone. The kick is 60, the net is 40, and it is a touchback for Anger. It is Jeff Saturday back in Indianapolis. He has returned undrafted out of North Carolina. 14 NFL seasons, 13 mostly snapping to Peyton Manning. A couple times an All-Pro, Super Bowl winner in the Super Bowl 41 victory with Peyton and Tony Dungy, and then was in TV working as an analyst, as a high school coach before that. Along the way was a consultant for the Colts. And Chris, as we talked to him last night, that was the one thing that I wasn't as aware of. He was watching practice film every day. So when he came in, it wasn't all the way out of left field. It was out of left field, but it wasn't out of the gap in left center. His pass over the middle is deflected and is incomplete. So he knew what he was getting into. He had a little familiarity, maybe more than was portrayed in the media.
All right, tell the truth. It was a little weird going in and talking to Jeff
A little?
Saturday, wasn't it?
A lot.
I kept thinking about Tony Dungy and what he had to be thinking, because it's one thing if you take somebody who doesn't have that sort of experience, start the season, but in the middle of the year, I mean, he had to seriously make a decision whether or not he was going to go for this or not. He said, our family history is we take some chances. He took a big chance, and the reaction from coaches around football, right? Some public on television, some private in private conversations was, how dare you?
Right.
How dare you as an owner hire somebody that basically has no experience and give this a go? And yet what I've seen is they're much better on the offensive line. They're a run-first team, and they've done a few clever things out here tonight. Let's see. Let's give them a chance.
Got 3rd and 5 coming up here. Mike Strawn, their 5th receiver, is in the lineup. Ryan is sacked. The pressure for the Cowboys came. You knew it was going to come at some point. And Donovan Wilson, his 4th sack of the year from the safety position.
As soon as I say how much better they're doing on the offensive line,
of course,
let's just not block the guy coming right through the middle here. And I'll get rid of that line just in time for the sack. It is so difficult to try and figure out all the different things that Dan Quinn can throw at you defensively, because he has about 8 or 9 different guys who are really good pass rushers.
And Hawk to kick it, Turpin back deep to receive. You want hang time and don't give this guy a chance to return. That's what they get here. Fair caught by Turpin at the 43-yard line. Field position will be very good for Dak and Dallas. Down 3 early second against the Colts. By Geico. Great football weekend it has been. We mentioned all the high school playoffs around Texas on Friday, and in here yesterday, terrific Big 12 championship game. Kansas State beat TCU, but TCU finds its way in the college football playoffs, so they're happy over in Fort Worth. That line adjustment, McGovern back in at guard. They pave a path for Pollard to the 40-yard line. Big first down gain for Tony of 17 yards.
I tell you, that big number 73, Tyler Smith, watch him get out here on the edge and go make a block. He can move. So last series he was in at guard along with Jason Peters out there at tackle. And that's the sort of athleticism. And you can remember when Tyron Smith first took over that left tackle position, how many different things they could do on the outside. Nice play there by Tyler Smith.
Pollard again inside for about 4 yards. Here's Melissa.
You're talking about Tyron Smith, suffered that significant hamstring injury at practice in late August, which required surgery. Tyron, he told me the entire time he was rehabbing, he felt very integrated with the team, stayed connected. Mentally, he's doing great. He came back to team meetings a few weeks ago and plans to return to practice next week. Said he's itching to get back, especially in time for the playoff push.
Yeah, open up that 21-day window before you have to make a decision, but certainly with the intent of getting him back out there. Tyler Smith's done a very credible job at left tackle. Pollard the carry to the 31-yard line. Brandon Faison is now in that corner, makes the tackle. Remember, Chris, when we were here opening night, this was the big panic for the Cowboys.
Oh, absolutely. All the holding penalties that he had in college, it'll never work. You can't move him out to the left tackle position. And you know what really helped him? When Jason Peters came in here, the old warhorse, right? And he said, the game's not that hard. Just go to your spot, make a play. Athletically, you can do it. Trust your body to make those kinds of plays. And it has been the key to their season.
From the 31, Dak gets it out quick. CeeDee Lamb breaks a tackle down the sideline. CeeDee still in bounds. He's been so terrific after the catch tonight. Rodney McLeod missed that one on Lamb, and it's 1st and goal for Dallas after a gain of 22.
Well, you're going to see CeeDee in motion a lot because they don't want anybody dictating coverage and taking him away. But this is the second time we've seen people not be able to get CeeDee Lamb on the ground. Good, quick little fake inside, then back outside. Be careful with him. He is on a heater right now.
Cowboys have 3 tight ends in the game. From the 9, throw it out to Gallup to the 2-yard line. Michael Gallup, who tore his ACL week 17, came back week 4. And when you watched him against the Giants with 5 catches, 63 yards, season highs on Thanksgiving, like, okay, he's kind of back to where he needs to be.
That's what I think, too. Michael Gallup, for him to be that effective single receiver side, he has to make those contested catches. And on Thanksgiving, we saw those plays made very consistently. He had a big day.
3 receivers, Pollard the back. And Dak will give it to Pollard, who walks in for the touchdown. Spread him out. Let Pollard go inside for the touchdown run. And the Cowboys take the lead.
Watch the quickness right here by the center. Biotic going to get around this block. That's tough. Now the stunt from Stewart came around him to open that hole up a little bit. But this is an offensive line. We talk a little bit about the Colts and what they've done. This offensive line is not only good right now, they're going to be a lot better when Tyron Smith comes back.
Extra point, good rush on Maher, but he is able to knock it in, extend the lead out to 4. What a season it's been for Tony Pollard. Touchdown number 9 overall, his 7th on the ground. Dallas back on top. Parts at Dick's. We've been mentioning the National Medal of Honor Museum that's being built just a walk here from the stadium in Arlington, Texas. Ground broken in March 2024 is the hope to have that museum opened, over 100,000 square feet. I mentioned the Jones family. Charlotte Jones, chair for the National Medal of Honor Foundation. Dallas Flowers with the big kickoff return to start the second half against Pittsburgh last week. It's around the 25-yard line here for the Colts, who have had, if you take the horse parlance, an unstable situation. From Andrew Luck's retirement through Jacoby Brissett and Phillip Rivers and Carson Wentz. All were okay, but weren't the guy. And then a 2-year deal for Matt Ryan to come in, and then everything that's gone on around this team since then. They've hovered around 500 with Ryan. They lost a couple of games that Sam Ehlinger started and are sitting at 4-7-1. And by the way, the backup tonight is Nick Foles for Indianapolis. Deion Jackson's in the game in the backfield on this drive, and he gets nothing. Micah Parsons, one of the Cowboys over there on the tackle.
Now, you think so much about Micah Parsons, and he's been so much more of an edge rusher this year. But don't forget, he's an inside backer, too. He knows how to maneuver his way through traffic here and make plays. That was perfectly done there. He has just been a dynamo. What does he have, 6 games now with 2 sacks in there? And when he gets going, sometimes you can't turn him off.
Yeah, if he gets 1, he gets 2. It's the way the games have gone for his stats are coming in pairs. Snap infraction there. Only 1 penalty accepted against the Cowboys, none against the Colts until now. If this is in fact on Indianapolis.
False start, number 56, offense, 5-yard penalty, second down.
Give that to Quentin Nelson, terrific guard up front, 50-year man out of Notre Dame.
Just a little flinch, pre-snap.
So it's going to set up 2nd and 14. Ryan protected here inside. Pittman with the catch. Michael Pittman takes it to the 30-yard line. Good receiver, 3rd year out of USC, taken in the second round. He's their top guy in catches and yards.
Yeah, I thought we might see a little bit of a hurry-up pace out of the Colts because the Cowboys love to substitute so much, but perfectly happy back in the huddle there. I guess sometimes you want to pick up that first down and then think about it. Oh, boy, they're in some pressure look now, too.
Parsons coming from way outside. Off the edge, here he comes. Ryan gets rid of it quick and gets the first down to Granson. That's a couple of catches for Kylan Granson. Second-year man out of SMU. We'll keep this drive going at the 36-yard line.
Yep, you're going to see Parsons coming off the edge, and they were bringing the heat. But I tell you have to give some credit to Matt Ryan. Did you see him throw around the uplifted arms of that defensive lineman there to get that completion?
I did, to get that first down. And I also saw the Colts not substitute. The Cowboys did, and the umpire came in and stopped the snap from happening, and the Colts sideline none too pleased with that. Deion Jackson the run to the 41. That's the fourth time that after a first down was achieved, they jumped the ball and tried to go quick to keep that personnel out there.
You will see the Dallas Cowboys substitute so freely, and Jeff Saturday, believe me, that's part of their strategy. They do not want these guys easily substituting, and if the referee's going to let him do it, then it kills part of his strategy, and he's hot. He deserves to be.
And Terry McCauley, our rules analyst, tells us with the play ending up in the bench area as the run here goes with Taylor, yard shy of the first down at the 45. With the play ending up in the bench area, they give them the chance to match back up because of the confusion that could be caused. Who's coming off the bench, who stayed in. So even though you didn't sub because of the way the play ended, that's what they do. Every single Sunday, Terry teaches us something.
And I'll bet Jeff Saturday is perfectly happy with that.
Yeah, right. 3rd and 1. Past halfway in the second quarter. Taylor's the back, bounces it to the outside, has the first down to the Cowboys side of midfield. Speaking of the bench area, thrown in there aggressively by Malik Hooker, the former Colt, but the drive continues.
It's a nice job that time by Matt Ryan. You could tell that he didn't really like what he saw. They were all bunched in over the center, so he checks, goes off tackle, picks up the easy first down.
Single. Hey, easy. Everybody's out of the bench areas. The Colts jump the ball. I feel so empowered that I learned that tonight. That's great. One more thing to add to the rules. Play 7 on this drive. Taylor to the right. Gain of 5. We both talked about Taylor and Ryan having that guy as a running back. That's why we thought this would work so well in Indianapolis. He is such a good back, combo of power and speed.
Yeah, we all did, and yet it didn't. And some of the midseason shifts and Frank Reich being gone and his expertise and how his offense matched up, and took a little while with Matt Ryan, and they make the full-sale changes right in the middle of the season. So it was tough on everybody.
Staying out here, not huddling. Little play action as Ryan escapes, throws it away. No receiver over here. Was he in the tackle box? Will be the next question, because the ball got past the line of scrimmage, and now that conversation is happening. Micah Parsons with the pass rush. And Carl Sheffer says out of the pocket.
If he was out of the pocket, he was barely out of the pocket.
Well, Matt Pryor's the new right tackle, 69.
Let's take a look at this. Let's see if he gets outside the pocket. Not even close.
Nope. Well, break there for the Colts. Instead of 3rd and long, it's 3rd and very manageable, 3rd and 5. Ryan in trouble, and he goes down. Swarming Dallas pressure. Anthony Barr coming from his linebacker position for his first sack of the season. Ryan thought it was up by the head.
Anytime you get Micah Parsons down inside here. You got to condense and you got to bring blockers down inside. And so basically on that one, Jonathan Taylor, he just could not get around his quarterback to go pick up Anthony Barr.
Gets him across the face mask, but that forcible word comes into play there. And the officials determined not forcible contact, so that's why no flag. And Matt Hawk kicks to Kamante Turpin. Minimize Turpin's impact in the punt return game. 2 kicks, another fair catch. Back at the 12-yard line, and the Cowboys will start. December's here. Christmas lists are being made and Christmas wishes being filled. BC's new comedy, Lopez versus Lopez, Friday, 8, 7 Central on NBC, and streaming the next day on Peacock. Back here in Arlington, Mike Tirico, Chris Collinsworth, Melissa Stark. Dak Prescott and the Cowboys start from the 12 and inside, almost intercepted by Stephon Gilmore. Gilmore right there. Almost had a key turnover. We mentioned Dak has thrown some picks since his return.
That's how you get to be Defensive Player of the Year, the way that Gilmore did. He was all over that one. Saw it, had it, physical at the point. They are trying hard to try and get some contact with these receivers coming off the ball so that maybe their pass rush can get home.
And the 12, CeeDee Lamb on the run. The jet sweep there, getting a first down at the 22-yard line. Let's see if they're going to give it to him. He's right at the mark. 8th run of the year for CeeDee. Nope, just short where the foot is there.
Did you see that little hockey stop there? He comes back. He comes to a skidding halt as he makes the cut with both feet. And you see all those black pellets flying, and there he goes again.
Simple. He's like, hold on to the replay. I'm going to show you the real thing again. Back to back, they return that play, and Lamb, 2 runs. That one gets the first down.
CeeDee Lamb, and I've said this before, but Kellen Moore certainly knows, he was one of the most elusive runners, I think, after the catch I ever saw play college football. He is just brilliant in the open field, and you should feel honored when you get him on the ground.
Runs of 9 and 14, and now Elliott with a jump cut. And Yannick Ngakoue made the first contact. DeForest Buckner finishing it up at the 35-yard line.
Check out the play by Grover Stewart on this one, just shooting the gap and getting upfield to completely disrupt this play. There's nothing that disrupts the running game and the zone running game more than penetration by those defensive linemen. He has really come out of nowhere this year and just taken off.
2nd and 10, pressure on Prescott's picked up, throws for Lamb, who had to go up high and took it in the ribs there by Rodney Thomas. The rookie from Yale was closing fast and targeted CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah, they're going to bring pressure here. Here comes right up the middle Zaire Franklin, who's had a fantastic year for these Colts. And just a little high with that throw. Anything else, and CeeDee easily makes that play.
3 minutes left. Colts get the ball to start the second half. It's 3rd and 10. Is this a big play in the game? No, but it's important if Indianapolis wants to stay around in this one. Dak protected so well. Gilmore with the pick. No flag. Fans wanted it. There was a lot of contact. Gilmore inside the 20 and down at the 19-yard line. Stephon Gilmore. 3 seasons removed from being the Defensive Player of the Year. His 2nd interception.
Take a look. This is just straight up man-to-man all over the field, and they're taking Gallup out with one guy. This is like watching the Patriots play. Is there contact? There is a little contact. He was breaking out into Gilmore, holding his ground, and just a little bit tougher at the point. You just have to play ball sometimes. Tell you what, Gilmore's had a half, hasn't he?
Yes, he has.
He is some player.
Almost had the pick on the first play of that drive. Gets it here. And now the Colts have an opportunity to take the lead. From the 19. Inside Taylor stumbled a little bit that first step. That doesn't stop him. He keeps going to the 16-yard line. Powerful running back.
Prescott's thrown a few interceptions now over the last little bit. He really trusts his wide receivers, and he was telling us as much. He goes, I'm just going to assume they're going to get open when they get out of the break, and that time he just could not battle his way through Gilmore.
6th game since he returned, 6th pick, all coming in the first half of games. Pressure coming. And the 2-minute warning. So the Colts will face second down on the other side of the 2. The pick thrown by 4, caught by 5, has Dallas trying to cut it to a 4-point lead. Now streaming on Peacock, so make your season bright with new Hallmark movies, shows, channels, and so much more. The holidays, watch a rom-com, watch those shows, or if you need a laugh at the end of the night, George Lopez over there on Peacock as well. George is here, he's in the house. Told you about his show on Friday nights on NBC with his daughter, Mayan. He's doing the old Zeke thing.
No, he's doing Raven the Invisible Towel.
Oh, that's what he's doing.
He's part of the crowd.
Thank you. 2nd and 7 coming up here for Indianapolis, down 4. And Ryan swing it, incomplete. Well covered by the Cowboys. And Damone Clark, who as a rookie 5th rounder is starting to make some noise in that Dallas linebacking core.
Yeah, and he is, and he's going to come in a lot of these pass-first kind of situations. But what we've seen here so far in these situations now on 3rd down is that Dan Quinn has been taking over the game with pressure. Let's see if he comes again. Both sacks have come on 3rd down pressure.
Ryan takes the quick snap, throwing up to the end zone. Out of bounds or caught? Let's see. Out of bounds, incomplete. As Kylan Granson tried to drag the feet, able to get his hands on it. But Matt Ryan knew he had to get rid of that quick, and the field goal attempt is coming.
Did not bring pressure. They just stunned it. They did a couple of loops, but because the earlier pressure had sort of sped up the clock in Matt Ryan's head, I think that you could see him look a little uncomfortable in the pocket, and that was some of that ghost pressure that he got used to on those other plays.
So a 34-yard field goal attempt for Chase McLaughlin. Not pretty at all, but it knuckles its way through. As we say in golf, no pictures on the scorecard.
Maria, Tony, Jason, coming up on the Toyota halftime.
Niners win but lose their quarterback.
Jalen Hurts for MVP.
We'll see you at the half. Back to you, Mike.
All right, Maria, Tony, Jason, see you then. Very interesting day with some significant long-term ramifications. A couple of those injuries. Quarterback in San Francisco and in Baltimore. 14-13, Kavontae Turpin going to let that go. It was a touchback. Let's go back to the field goal, and here's the explanation why it wasn't very pretty.
Yeah, Dorrance Armstrong, who's gotten his hands on a couple of kicks already this year. They go a pure double team over Pinter, and he tipped it. Just didn't tip it enough. Pretty amazing. You can get a hand on the football and have it still go through.
Bones Fossil, the special teams coach for the Cowboys, has seen Armstrong block a field goal and a punt for him this year. So full complement of timeouts for Dallas, getting into a 2-minute drill here. Pollard on the edge. He's out of bounds right around the 30. Here's Melissa.
Mike, Stephon Gilmore with that interception. He told me he embraces the moments when he knows the ball is coming in his direction, that he comes alive. He said, I've been like that my whole career. If you can make the play, you're the savior. He likened it to Michael Jordan, his favorite athlete, that he would always take that shot. When the moment gets big, he's clutch and steps up. And that is what Gilmore prides himself on doing.
Saw it in Buffalo, saw it in New England, 5 years each place. In Carolina, and now here for a year. Prescott shot down the field towards Gallup. Incomplete. A little bump and contact as Gallup got free. Rodney Thomas was coming over from that safety position. Isaiah Rodgers had the initial coverage.
Yeah, when you saw Rodney Thomas come moving over, and look at Mike McCarthy, he's looking at the same thing. Thomas comes flying over, but then he sort of turned his hips and ran a little bit. but it looked like the contact was going to come head on, and that would have been a foul, but he adjusted last second, turned up the field, made a nice play.
7th round pick rookie playing in the deep safety position. 3rd and 5. Prescott was going to take off, but he got squeezed in there and is sacked. Kwity Paye combines with DeForest Buckner to come up with the stop, but all 4 rushers an impact there, and Dallas will punt it back to the Colts.
Let's take a look at Paye coming right off the edge over here, but the pressure came initially from the inside, and that just, as you said, squeezed Dak Prescott. And I tell you, this is an upbeat, emotionally charged defensive football team with the Indianapolis Colts. I mean, this is a game right now. I'm not sure the Dallas Cowboys were quite expecting this one.
Not sure we were expecting it, to be perfectly frank. Odenigbo, a couple of the players inside, rotating some defensive linemen, having an impact for the Colts. Anger with the boot. 51 yards taken at the 24-yard line. Dallas Flowers not sneaking up on anybody this week. Return just shy of the 30. So the Colts with 1:19 and a couple timeouts. We'll see what they do after the Cowboys couldn't jump into a 2-minute drive. Colts a 3 and out by the Indy defense. Defensive coordinator, 5+ years as the head coach of the Atlanta Falcons, and Matt Ryan was his quarterback. He told us that we grew together. Watched Matt become the leader. He always had my back. Matt Ryan also had great words for Dan Quinn, but opposite sides here tonight. They look to throw it on 1st down, and he just throws it away in the neighborhood of Taylor, the eligible receiver, as Ryan got rid of it.
Yeah, and he knows what he has to do with Matt Ryan, right? He knows that the pressure has to be sort of up the middle. Ryan, during the course of his career, has really never had any fear of edge rushers coming around him. He can step up. But Dan Quinn knows if you get the pressure on the interior part of it, that's where he has problems.
Each other well. 2nd and 10. This pass incomplete. Try to get it to Pierce here. So I asked you in the break, did you think the Colts just try to run and not fully get into a 2-minute drive, give it a 1-point score here at the half, and they've stopped the clock twice with incompletion.
It always depends on what you see, but the Cowboys came out in some soft shell coverage. I probably would have run at that because you did have the timeouts, you did have the ability, but they came out throwing.
Go quick here. Ryan's missed his last 5. Finds Paris Campbell here, who's got the 1st down and out of bounds with 1:06 to go. So they put 3 receivers on this side, and the 4th-year man out of Ohio State, Campbell, gets the 1st down.
Yeah, they end up with a bunch formation out here on the outside, and the Cowboys really just never got set in the coverage and end up popping one wide open on a 3rd and long. That is not what Dan Quinn had in mind.
Still the 2 timeouts from the 40. Ryan to Pierce, incomplete, as he couldn't get it to the rookie wide receiver. And we'll have 2nd down coming up. 1:03 to go till halftime.
You just don't see Matt Ryan miss those kinds of throws. I know they have young receivers out here. The other guy, Mike, that we haven't seen at all who played really well last week is Jelani Woods, their big tight end, and he's been a non-factor.
Just 3 snaps for him thus far. It's been more Kylan Granson. Second and 10 for Ryan. That pass was jumped, and it's intercepted on the deflection. Brown tipped it. On the run to the sideline, inside the 25-yard line for Malik Hooker. The read by Brown forced the deflection.
Nice play by Anthony Brown. You can see him looking at the quarterback the entire way. He's reading the drop of the quarterback. He's not looking at the receiver. He sees that 3-step drop. He's going to hit that right away. Great play on the outside by Anthony Brown. So many times, I think he came up with that catch.
It's close. The ball does touch the field, but he's got it secure. Let's take a deeper look there. You see it touches as he's going down. It has not been confirmed yet by replay in New York, and then he goes down the sideline. And they look for where his out-of-bounds step was as he was coming down. It was whistled back there.
You know that one feels good for Malik Hooker. He was a first-round pick of the Colts in 17 and just never quite worked out due to some injuries, but worked out just fine there. And this is a big flip in the ball game right now. Just inconsistency throwing the football over the course of a season. And, you know, the ironic part of the whole thing is today the Colts would pick about 9th in the draft, and they've had their run of veteran quarterbacks come in and try and fix it. Let's see.
Please reset the game clock.
It's got to be a pick.
Seconds. The interception is confirmed, and the runner was out of bounds at the 26-yard line. Thank you.
Yeah, so he maintains control with his hands even though the ball touches the ground. But you're right, the frustration, this is not a sharp passing operation.
It's not. And it's hard to put your finger on exactly why that is.
So instead of going in down 1, the Cowboys get it in great field position. The Colts may go down more than that here. Elliott on the run to the 20-yard line. Dallas still has all their timeouts and 50 seconds left. And one will be taken here. And we'll step out for 30 seconds. Back after this from AWS.
AWS is helping the NFL transform player health and safety. AI analyzes millions of data points, powering unlimited simulations to continuously improve equipment and training, and help predict potential injuries faster than any human. Because when it comes to player safety, nothing matters more.
Each team one turnover, an interception here in this second quarter, and both have given the opposition great field position. Colts turn theirs into a field goal. What will Prescott do here? Elliott the back, sideline, caught by CeeDee Lamb. He'll be inbounds with his progress stopped. So the clock continues to run.
I tell you, it has been the motion of CeeDee Lamb that has really just given fits to this Colts defense. They just can't figure out a way to double team him, and he's the guy.
Prescott fires end zone, and it's incomplete. Zaire Franklin does a great job carrying Schultz to the back, and Dalton couldn't secure it for the catch.
Oh, what a play by Zaire Franklin, the captain out there. Former special teams guy who just willed his way into the starting lineup and is now second in the NFL with 121 tackles and brilliance on that one.
Well, Shaquille Leonard's their star linebacker, Franklin special teamer, but terrific breakup by the fifth-year man from Syracuse. Now 2nd and 10 for the Cowboys.
One-on-one on the outside.
Gonna run it inside. Elliott for 1. DeForest Buckner, great play to make the stop. Timeout. Dallas with 20 to go.
Mike, a lot of, and there's Shaq Leonard on the other side, and a lot of what's happened with this defense is really just a product of they don't get turnovers anymore. That guy was a turnover machine, whether it was interceptions or punch outs or whatever the case may be. They have just not gotten those turnovers. But what we're seeing now out of the Colts is a little bit of a page out of Bill Belichick's playbook in that they are putting Stephon Gilmore on Michael Gallup and then doing everything they can to try and double in some way CeeDee Lamb. CeeDee is the key to this offense. He's the one that you have to stop. And with Kenny Moore out of the lineup for the Colts, it has been a problem.
Dallas here is going to go 3 receivers. Use Pollard as the back. Schultz is the tight end on 3rd and 9. And Prescott gets away from Kwity Paye, throws across. It's Gallup to the end zone. Touchdown, Dallas. Dak kept it alive. Gallup took it in. And the Cowboys extend the lead.
Michael, exactly what I was talking about. They used the motion to get Gilmore off of Michael Gallup. As soon as he did that, now Gallup's the one that's going across the field and scoring the touchdown.
Maher's extra point is good. 21-13. Dallas on top.
So you had Stephon Gilmore on the other side against Michael Gallup. Now you're going to put CD in motion across the field. So what do? Now Gilmore has to bump outside to take CD. And so now going the other way is Michael Gallup one-on-one without the kind of coverage he's been used to seeing here tonight. And he scores the touchdown. So it is the way that CD Lamb has been used in this game to open up other people, not just himself.
And good for Gallup to find the end zone yet again. Second touchdown, his first game back from that injury. And we go back to that opening night and all the optimism. That was a big part of what was missing. And they thought that the wide receiving core would see Gallup and CD Lamb and James Washington. Washington hasn't played at all with a foot injury the very first practice out in California. As a matter of fact, Washington's getting close to returning. And now Gallup is hitting stride. Didn't mean that pun, but it came out. Cowboys lead by 8.
Just add 3 more letters to that mix. OBJ.
Oh.
Here we go.
No Beckham Jr. due to visit. Dallas Flowers on the run, takes the big hit. Flag coming down here is Donovan Wilson with the open field tackle on this long striding, good looking return man that the Colts have found here over the last couple of weeks.
During the return, holding number 41, return team, 10-yard penalty, first down.
Penalties on Grant Stewart, so Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones and Jerry Jr. over there to the right, they'll be hosting Odell tomorrow.
They will be, and it's an interesting conversation because it's going to take a financial commitment, right? There's no question, and probably multi-years. So how will that go? I mean, would he slide in here if he's right? Yes. Have the Cowboys seen him do anything? Have they seen him run a route? Have they seen? The answer is no. So, but Jerry Jones has a little Super Bowl fever working right now too, and if he thinks there's a chance that Odell could do what he did last year for the Rams, it will be hard for him not to pull the trigger.
Jeff Saturday's Colts will get the ball to start the second half, trailing by 8. Toyota halftime now with Maria, Tony, and Jason.
All right, thanks, Mike. We've got the former Colts and Cowboys head coaches, so let's just break down the last offensive possession you saw from Dallas.
Dallas did a good job taking advantage of the turnover by Matt Ryan there at the end of the half. I'm not so sure the Colts handled that as well as they should have.
Well, Colts mistakes. That's what's kind of hurt them the last couple of games, and we see it right there in critical situations.
Still got Dallas by 40?
Yeah, they got to outscore by 32 in the second half. Is that
all right? He's still in it.
He's going to hang on to that.
So the Cowboys, they're chasing the Eagles and the Vikings atop the NFC, but both those squads showed a lot of grit, a lot of gritty. We're going to give you the updates on how they did it and some big quarterback injury updates for you coming up next.
Want updates on the action? Just tell Siri, show me football scores. To the Toyota halftime. Let's go places.
Crazy ending to the first half. A Matt Ryan interception pulled off by Malik Hooker turns into a Prescott to Gallup touchdown, and Dallas leads it 21-13 at the half in Dallas. Welcome back inside the studio. Maria Taylor alongside Tony Dungy and Jason Garrett. We had maybe the best slate of games all season this afternoon, so let's jump right to it and get to the best of today. Starting with the Commanders and Giants, a little Taylor Heineke magic. Needed to pull off an overtime
Wasn't great early in the game, but in the big moments, fourth quarter, he came through, got them in position to win. Giants had a chance in overtime, and just short.
58 yards is no good. Game ends in a tie, but the teams do meet again in 2 weeks. Jason, Eagles taking on Titans. It was the A.J. Brown revenge game.
It sure was. Okay. The Eagles can beat you so many different ways. Today was about throwing the football and throwing the football to that guy. A.J. Brown, they call him Swole Batman. He is so good on contested catches.
Welcome to Gotham City. They get the win 35-10. Vikings taking on the Jets. A tight game. game.
Yes, and the Jets outgained the Vikings, but Justin Jefferson, Kirk Cousins made the critical plays, and the defense came up big in the red zone.
Win it 27-22. Bengals taking on the Chiefs, a rematch of the AFC Championship game from a year ago.
And two of the best young quarterbacks playing in the NFL, Mahomes and Burrow. Burrow got the best of them. Joe Cool getting it done for the Bengals.
3-0 against Patrick Mahomes. How about that? 49ers taking on the Dolphins. This is the game we all had circled.
Yes, and Brock Purdy ended up being the hero after Jimmy Garoppolo got hurt.
Yes, a broken foot takes him out, so Brock Purdy, former Mr. Irrelevant, steps in, plays well. Tua Tagovailoa has 3 turnovers in this one. The 49ers defense shut down Miami with those 4 takeaways, and now the 49ers have won 5 straight, but now they're without Jimmy G. Mike Florio gives us the latest on the big injuries to QBs.
Yeah, and that was the big one. Maria mentioned the broken foot to Jimmy Garoppolo. He is expected to miss the rest of the year. Brock Purdy becomes the starter. They also have Jacob Eason on the practice squad. We've confirmed that they are signing Josh Johnson from the Denver Broncos practice squad to the active roster in San Francisco. In that same game, Dolphins quarterback Tua Tagovailoa suffered an ankle injury late. I'm told he expects to play next Sunday night against the LA Chargers. And earlier in the day, Ravens quarterback Lamar Jackson suffered an injured left knee. Coach John Harbaugh said after the game that it is not expected to be a season-ending injury. It is more like days to weeks. An MRI tomorrow will tell us more. If he can't play, Tyler Huntley takes over.
All right, let's have a conversation about where those quarterback injuries lead us in this playoff picture. Right now, the Niners are leading the NFC West at 8-4, currently the 3 seed. Now you insert Brock Purdy. I mean, he had only thrown 9 passes and some mop-up duty. He has to come in, he gets the victory, but where does this leave this 49ers team that was surging?
Maria, I thought he did a fantastic job. For a rookie to step into that stage and play as well as he played, a lot of poise, a lot of composure. He made plays with his feet. He got the ball out of his hand and made a lot of big-time throws. The guy's got a little moxie to him. He really does, and I think his teammates felt it.
Well, he did play well, and the thing about the 49ers, I think a young quarterback can go in and play well there because they've got a tremendous running game. They've got a great defense. It's not going to be you that have to make every single play for them to win.
And he needs to understand that. Be 111th, do your job, play to your defense, play to that running game, and he can function. The problem with the NFL, though, is the coaches on the other side, they're really good. So what was good for them today, teams are going to take away, and they're going to make him beat them going forward.
Fred Warner, you know, the defensive captain for the 49ers, he told a great story in practice. He's like, listen, we go against this guy all the time. I can talk smack to him. He takes it. So I feel like he's a guy with the it factor, or the moxie, as Jason would say. And we'll see if he has it for the rest of the way.
Moxie, I like it.
You like it? Second half from
Coach.
Arlington is still ahead. But first, take a trip with Toyota into the great unknown. Spotify wrap dropping this week. We've dusted off Chris Sims. Welcome back to the halftime.
Oh, thanks a lot. Thanks for having me.
And we're going to put a wrap on week 13, starting with what we saw here today. And we're going to start with our top record.
Oh, top record?
Who's it going to be?
Oh, it was Geno Smith today. He was on fire. I mean, throwing the ball, Lockett, Metcalf, big explosive plays. Kenneth Walker, the running back, got hurt, had a career day against the Rams today. Way to go, Geno. Top record.
367 yards today, and that passing touchdown seals the deal.
Game winner right there.
There you go for Seattle. All right, next up, top performer.
Oh, top performers? All right, well, we got to give that Vikings defense some love.
Okay.
I mean, they lit up a lot of yards, but the name of the game is points. And they did not let the Jets score touchdowns. They made them kick field goals consistently throughout the day. The Jets, 22 points, but 5 field goals, that ain't going to get it done.
Yeah, they were able to keep him out of that end zone. And meanwhile, on repeat, who is it?
Can you believe
Joe
this?
Burrow.
Oh,
I
yeah.
can.
Yeah, Joe Burrow. I mean, nobody has the number of Patrick Mahomes. Joe Burrow has it right now. Getting the ball out of his hands quick. He's as clutch as they come. He's awesome in the pocket. Big play Joe winning it for the Bengals.
Yeah, he is 3-0 against Patrick Mahomes. And in fact, they haven't lost to Kansas City in the year of 2022. And also, you know what's on my repeat?
What's that?
Glory, glory to old Georgia. Back in Arlington, the
It's always
Cowboys
Georgia.
are continuing to honor the nation's military with a halftime concert and their salute to the service game. Had to get it.
This has been the Toyota Halftime. Let's go places.
Write about NFL Productions for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this broadcast or any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the consent of NFL Productions is prohibited.
Week 13 concludes with Monday Night Football on ESPN. Then Week 14 kicks off Thursday night on Prime Video. Stream games live on your mobile phone with NFL Plus.
Tonight's first half highlights are brought to you by Chevrolet.
The AT&T Stadium, packed with over 90,000 fans to see the Cowboys and the Colts on Sunday Night Football. Prescott throws underneath complete. CeeDee Lamb, was he down? They say no, and he's into the end zone.
What a play.
Here is Ryan, firing end zone open for the touchdown. And Dak will give it to Pollard, who walks in.
This is a game.
Chevrolet, EVs for everyone, everywhere.
And that's how we've arrived at 21-13, quarter three from Arlington, Texas. Mike Tirico, Chris Collinsworth, Melissa Stark, Terry McCauley back in the studio. Dak with a couple of TDs, now third in Cowboys history, tied with Danny White. He passed Roger Staubach earlier tonight. Cowboys defense, a pair of sacks in every game this year. It's why they lead the league on a good stat, but leading the league on another stat. Matt Ryan, 11 picks now, tied with Josh Allen and Davis Mills, who's been benched in Houston for the most in the NFL. Cowboys trying to get to 9-3 and continue to stay within 2 games of Philadelphia with 5 games remaining in this season. And this is the first of 3 consecutive games against teams from the AFC South as they play Houston next week and then go to Jacksonville in a couple of weeks. Colts are going to get it to start this second half, and Brett Maher is set to kick it away. Dallas Flowers going to try to ignite the team like he did second half last week. Flag down, big return. Flowers out to the 42-yard line, but the flag thrown as he was breaking. Dallas thinks he got a good one. There's a reality check over back there with Carl Cheffers.
During the return, holding, number 20, return team, half the distance to the goal, first down.
And after the half, Melissa Stark with Jeff Saturday.
Jeff, you guys had the momentum at the end of the first half. Matt Ryan throws that interception. How do you get back on track in this first drive?
Yeah, we get the ball first, right? We need a big return, punch in the end zone. Felt like we let one get away after the turnover that Gilly got for us. We got to make that 6, but like you said, can't turn it over in a 2-minute drill. Got to go make up for it right now.
Watching you on the sidelines, you're constantly engaged with these guys, giving them messages. What was the message at halftime?
Got to keep fighting, got to earn it. Ain't nobody giving us anything. Go earn it, go finish this, let's get the win.
Thanks, Jeff.
Sounds like an offensive lineman. The encouraging words of Jeff Saturday. Drive starts to the 9. Jonathan Taylor stopped in the backfield by Sam Williams, the rookie out of Ole Miss, with a good penetration and a loss of a couple of yards.
And it's really what happens with this Dallas Cowboys defense is they are just so quick. We think of them in terms of pass rushers, but it also applies to the run game because they are constantly in motion. They are looping and stunning. And now here you are on first down. You got 2nd and 11 backed up.
And they're bringing 5, and Ryan throws in the pocket. Incomplete. Try to get it over to Pierce. Once again, Anthony Brown has him blanketed. And one of the things as you look at the Colts season, not a lot of deep passes downfield. It's all within 10 or 11 yards.
They did it one time in this game and hit it. And then they did a double move and hit that. Come on. The thing that changed this game is when Dan Quinn started blitzing. The Colts have done nothing in the first half. Took 2 of their sacks, were 1 for 4 for 9 yards in the first half, and come out and miss that one.
Ryan's only hit 1 of his last 10 passes. They're going to run from back here, and Taylor won't go anywhere. Donovan Wilson from his safety position able to clean it up in a 1-minute 3-and-out for the Indianapolis offense.
Yeah, and what happens is they will move so much of the rush on that side so that Micah Parsons can get that one-on-one opportunity. And they probably just did not feel comfortable looking out there and seeing Bernhard Raimann, their rookie, matched up against Micah Parsons.
Matt Hawk to kick it. He's kept Devontae Turpin in check with good hang time on his first 2 tonight. Turpin's going to have to run up and fair catch it right at midfield. He's mad that he fair caught it. It was 39, no return, and Dallas has it right around the star. Here starting the second half, +8. Oh, with apologies to Peyton Manning, whose nickname is the Sheriff. The Sheriff in Dallas is back in town. Cooper Rush was here. He held down the fort in those 5 games. The defense handled it. Cooper didn't play a lot of mistake football. It was mostly mistake-free. And kept it warm for Dak, who's come back in the last 5 games. Most points, second in yards, best on third down. And as Chris said at the very beginning, it's kind of giving that rejuvenating shot of championship hopes to this Cowboys fan base. And the team's feeling it too. Over there in practice Friday, they were very confident. Dak here, handing to Zeke for a couple of yards. We have a penalty flag down.
Holding, number 87, offense, 10-yard penalty, replay first down.
It's on Jake Ferguson, the tight end. That's the third on the Cowboys tonight.
Yeah, and Dak Prescott all season long has been really good with play action passes. He's third best in the National Football League this year off of play action. In that first half, 2 for 5 for 6 yards. So this Colts defense has done a good job. Again, nice stop there on first down. Back them up now. They have a chance here. Now they need this pressure with 4-man rush.
The 41, Elliott on the ground for 4 to the 45. Dak did throw 2 touchdowns in that first half, and that takes him past Roger Staubach, who he started the night tied with, and moves him into a tie for third with Danny White. Only Troy Aikman and Tony Romo have thrown more touchdown passes, and there is 1963 Heisman Trophy winner as we get to Army-Navy week. The great football players in Navy history, and one of the great Cowboys, the Hall of Famer Roger Staubach, on hand tonight. Prescott to throw, and throws underneath, and Elliott quickly hit by Franklin. Zaire limits the gain to the 48-yard line, just 3 there.
Don't you love it, though, when a career special teams guy gets a chance? They lose their mind out there, right? Zaire Franklin, we had a chance to visit with him. Just such an intense personality and dynamic leader. His mother and grandmother who raised him passed away when he was 16 years old. He was basically on his own since then, and he has just willed his way into the leadership position here with the Colts.
3rd and 13 in the middle again. This pass incomplete, as Okereke was there to knock it away from Tony Pollard, and like they did to start the game, it's a 3-and-out quickly forced by that Indianapolis defense.
Yeah, and they've done it the right way. Let's give some credit here to Gus Bradley, but Stephon Gilmore, whenever he has been able to stay on the coverage that Bradley wants him on, he's been all over it. Cowboys done a pretty nice job, though, trying to avoid him for the most part.
Brian Angers set to kick it. Flowers back to receive. Big rush on. Good job to get it away. Dallas Flowers go down and make a fair catch smoothly at the 10-yard line. That was 42 all net yardage. Rodeo time, would you?
Not a chance.
You got it right there with you, pal.
Ocho Cinco, baby.
The people have chosen the awards already. Keenan Thompson, love that guy. He hosts the People's Choice Awards live Tuesday at 9, 8 Central on NBC and E. The red carpet starts live from E. Begin with Paris Campbell, and he'll get to the 12-yard line, gain about 3. Leighton Vander Esch bumps him on over on the sidelines. The Colts try to find something to get in the mix to get that offense jump-started, Chris.
Yeah, and there's a lot of things they can do under center. So far in this game, they have been much better under center running this offense than they have been out of the shotgun. Almost 3 times better per play.
From the 12, the bell cow of this team. Taylor, good job by Taylor to escape the tackle, get into the secondary, lost the football, but was down. Ruled down.
Field. Down by contact.
Just have to make sure there was contact that put him down. That's what, and there was, no question.
So it's a gain of 19. The Colts jump the ball here to go quick from the 31-yard line.
Will they try something deep again?
It almost sounds like you're begging. Here's Taylor for 4 to the 35-yard line.
Well, so what happened? They've scored 1 touchdown in the game. How did they do it? They threw a deep ball to Pierce, and then they did a sluggo semi-deep ball on the outside to Ashton Doolin. So, scored 1 touchdown that way. Maybe you can do it again.
Just building towards that moment. Here at the 35.
Two deep safeties. They have every right to run it here.
Ryan's going to throw, swing it out to Taylor. Open field. Van Der Esch brings him down at the 40. Good tackle by Leighton Van Der Esch coming across the field. His 5th year in the league.
Oh, you said that right. That was a huge tackle. They're in man coverage behind it. The receivers and defensive backs are running away from this play. If Van Der Esch doesn't catch up to one of the fastest running backs in the league, he is running for about 40 or 50 yards here. Big time play that time by Leighton Van Der Esch, who sounded like he was almost working his way out of a Cowboys uniform and has come back and had a big year.
Stayed healthy so far, knock on wood, and he has been good. 3rd and 2. Micah Parsons will be at the bottom of the screen. Work it inside as Ryan throws quick. It's complete for the first down to Pierce. To the Cowboys side of midfield at the 46. Alec Pierce, good part of a terrific team last year at the University of Cincinnati.
Yeah, and why does it happen? Because Pierce on that same side has already hit a deep play over the top. Now when you make that outside move, Anthony Brown has to honor it. Now you can work the slant back in.
Drive from the Colts started back right around their own 10. And Taylor inside, only about a yard there on what turns out to be carry 17 for Jonathan Taylor. He had 6,000 plus yards during his time at Wisconsin, second only to Ron Dane. As you said, Chris, won the rushing title by 552 yards last year.
70% of the time they ran it on first down in the first half. And the Cowboys' answer to that has been running Leighton Van Der Esch through the line of scrimmage. So at some point there has to be something open with play action off of that.
Taylor out, Zach Marshall came in the trade. Buffalo is in. Ryan throws open as Paris Campbell for the first down right around the 35-yard line with the ex-Colt Malik Hooker on the tackle.
Bringing the slot blitz off the edge over here. But really a nice job here by Matt Ryan. He saw it all the way. He knew what was happening. He knew he had it blocked up. Stood in there and made a nice throw.
Marked at the 36. Colts go with one back and two tight ends here. Matt Ryan was checking there, and the rookie, or second-year man, Kylan Granson moved.
Number 73, offense, 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
You could see on the play that Matt Ryan was trying to let everybody know that Donovan Wilson, number 6, was down, and that was mistaken for a snap count at that point. It's amazing how these quarterbacks have to change their voices at the line of scrimmage. Sometimes you'll hear them go, easy, 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 meaning like the next sound was going to be the snap count, but then it didn't. You see Wilson over on the sideline now.
First and 15. Ryan scans, flips it out to Deion Jackson. In the open space, it's incomplete. Deron Bland, another rookie who's been infused into this Cowboy defense midseason, is having an impact, was over there for the stop.
Yeah, they really think that he has a chance because Jordan Lewis had been that slot cornerback. And I tell you, they have high hopes now for Deron Bland. He's really figured a few things out there in that slot position.
2 fifth-round picks, Bland and Clark, on this defense, finding roles. Hallmark of this defense, a lot of players see the field for the Cowboys. Oh, they're bringing pressure, screen coming. On the run, Taylor inside of the 30. First down to the 22-yard line. He's got another gear once he breaks into open space. 19 on that one.
Yeah, you don't get a lot of screen passes against this team because they're so good rushing the passer. People throw a lot of screens against them. But that was perfectly timed. All the action coming at Matt Ryan, finally they were able to take advantage of one.
Side run, Taylor, nothing there. That was read right away by Jaron Kearse. The safety comes off the corner, and it's a negative play again for Indianapolis.
But because of the predictability of those first down runs, you're getting a safety down there. Now he's coming late. It's not like it's easy to audible it, but I think at some point you have to anticipate that's what they're going to do.
Play 11 of the drive. Here's Ryan firing. Good throw to get that second foot down. Yes, Paris Campbell at the 12-yard line. Right at the mark, just shy of it.
Really a pretty throw that time because Matt Ryan had to throw it up over the top of the inside player and get it down for the catch.
Third down, they go quick. Taylor tries to get to the outside, and he can't. Dorrance Armstrong made that play. His penetration slithering in, so let's see what Saturday does. 5.5, he's going to go.
Amazing play. Amazing play by Dorrance Armstrong from the backside of that one.
Bring in an extra offensive lineman. Now sorting. Danny Pinter reports is eligible, 4th and 1.
Last time they squeezed down inside, they went off tackle for the first down.
Ryan on the keeper. Looks like he'll have an Indianapolis first down. Had to get right to the 12-yard line, and we saw Matt do that last week as well and pick up a key 4th down with a keeper.
Yeah, good decision. Quentin Nelson's pretty good. Watch how low he gets underneath this block here. And once you take the legs out from underneath that defensive tackle, now you have a chance. You can see him literally just nosedive into the D-line.
That's that little nuance of running that sneak that you talked about, right? Yeah. I was watching the game earlier today. Charles Davis, our friend, was talking about just that fact. Ryan's been good at it. 5 of 5 on those runs this year. First down. Not going anywhere. Jonathan Hankins. You definitely have the feel for the plot here of what's going on first down. As does Dan Quinn.
Yeah, so it's on first down, and you bring big Jonathan Hankins in the game. Came over from the Raiders, and he just pushed Ryan Kelly straight back, and Ryan Kelly's a good player. So they needed a little beef up there for their run defense, and they got it in Jonathan Hankins.
Under 4 here in the third. Ryan, end zone shot for Pierce. He caught it. Oh, what a play. Last second turned his body. Gave him a frame. And Alec Pierce with a touchdown. They'll go for 2 in the tie.
Beautiful. Now, I would say throwing deep's working pretty well for the Colts. Good move off of that slant. Nice play right there. Joseph all over him. And Pierce, just like he did at the University of Cincinnati.
Yep.
Give him a chance. Go up and make a play. I'm telling you, these guys can do it. They can do. Michael Pittman could do it too. We haven't seen a lot of him.
Colts go for 2. 1 for 4 on such tries this year. Dallas stopping him 1 for 4. Ryan rolls it, throws it, and Campbell incomplete. Campbell was trying to take the ball, stretch it out, break the plane, but that rookie we talked about earlier in the drive, Deron Bland, made a good play to stay with him. The Colts have tightened it to a 2-point game. The rookie second-round pick, Alec Pierce, has shown up a lot this year. His second touchdown has made this a 2-point game. Anthony Brown, the starting left corner for the Cowboys, who was injured. They say out with an ankle injury. They immediately say he's out, and that's a very troubling sign, short and long term for Dallas. Kelvin Joseph came in, and he was the one defending on Pierce on that touchdown. The 2-point conversion missed. 21-19, Indianapolis within 2. Monte Turpin will let it go. It's a touchback.
All right, let's take a look at the Walmart Plus 4K Sky Cam. Get inside the game a little bit. Zaire Franklin, tremendous player. He leads both teams so far tonight with 8 tackles. He has been doing it against the run. He has been a major factor in the pass game. And this probably the biggest play of the night, the breakup against Dalton Schultz. Here's a guy who was a special teams player, a special teams captain, now the leader of this defense and doing a fantastic job.
You know why he wears 44, right?
No.
Say in a second. 25. Dak with a fake. A little boot, and it's complete. Jake Ferguson for 4 to the 29-yard line. Zaire Franklin went to Syracuse. Wore number 4 at Syracuse, but he wears 44, which is the number worn at Syracuse by Jim Brown, Ernie Davis, Larry Zonka, Derek Coleman in basketball. It's such a famous number that the zip code at Syracuse was changed from 13210 to 13244.
Now, if he had been an Ohio State player, would you have known that?
Yes, we do our research. Come on. Go Gators. Chop, chop. 2nd and 6. Pollard to the edge. Good run down the sideline. Pollard to midfield. And a first down. That extra gear, you can sense when he gets to the edge, these Cowboy fans love to see Tony take off.
No question. And the other great thing this team can do is they can mix and match wide receivers and tackles. Crack down on the backside of that thing and pull your tackle out and around. And I tell you, Tony Pollard is just different, isn't he? He's just different. Every year he's averaging over 5 yards per carry, and he's just done it so consistently. That added pop to this offense has just been the difference.
7 a carry tonight. Held below his average there with a run of 4. Here's Melissa.
Mike, Tony Pollard was telling me this week about his relationship with Ezekiel Elliott. He told me when he touched down in Dallas, Zeke was the first person to take him under his wing, that Zeke taught him everything. He said they are competitive with each other, but only at Call of Duty. On the field, they always have a goal together as a whole, and they go into every game with a combined number of yards that they want to rush for. He didn't give me an exact number tonight. He said it's high.
He's on his way. Great visit with Michael Smith with those guys on the pregame. Noah Brown sideline, rather CeeDee Lamb going to catch that right at the first down marker at the 39 here for Dallas. And let's check those numbers Melissa was talking about. If they won't share them, we'll share the actual ones. 134 yards and 25 touches for this duo.
Well, and really the key of it has been Ezekiel Elliott, because it's hard, right? When you're the guy, you're the bell cow, you're the superstar, all that sort of stuff. Right. And it would be real easy for Ezekiel Elliott to shun Tony Pollard. He never did. And now they have that 1-2 punch in the backfield that is setting them apart.
The 39, here's Zeke running inside. See Jason Peters playing left tackle again on this drive to the 35-yard line. What a story Peters is. His 19th year in the league. He's 40 years old. He's come in because of that injury to Tyron Smith. When Tyler Smith was at left tackle, was going to be left guard. We got to find somebody. And he played well in Chicago last year, and here he is, a factor for the Cowboys.
Yeah, lost 25 pounds, but his legacy in Dallas may well be what he has taught Tyler Smith, because when Tyron Smith comes back, I think Tyler Smith's going to go to guard, and this Dallas offensive line is going to get even better.
2nd and 6. Dak, a deep drop. Throws to the outside. That is ruled incomplete. Ruled incomplete for Isaiah Rodgers, who thinks he had it on the sideline. Now there's a conversation. Initially in the back, the official felt he had a clear look at it and immediately said incomplete. We'll get a replay look, and then Jeff Saturday will decide challenge or not if that's the case. Field judge Mike Weatherford came in, thought it was incomplete right away.
Looked like it bounced, yeah. I don't know what happened to the throw, though. The throw was way behind. He comes out of it, but you see that how far behind that throw was. I don't know if Dak got a little pressure. Really didn't. They just missed that one. They're lucky to get away with that throw.
Let's take one more look here on the inside and see if replay's helping out in this case. You know, he's got his hand on it first before it hits the ground. Then does he pin it to his chest?
Didn't look like it bounced as much that time.
No.
The ruling on the field is an incomplete pass. After the incomplete pass, personal foul, number 44 of the defense. 15 yards will be assessed. Automatic.
All right, so Zaire Franklin penalized there. We'll see what happened. That'll not only give Dallas still the ball, but will take it even closer. Okay, so it's that play there. They're coming into block after on what would be a return. And Terry McCauley, just to be clear for everyone, even though the play was dead at that point, any fouls on a subsequent return still are walked off.
Personal fouls, correct. Personal fouls are still enforced.
So is that because he peeled back?
Yes, that's an illegal blindside block.
Yeah.
Back toward his own goal line, forcible contact, really the head on this play.
So it takes Dallas to the 20-yard line with a first down. Final 38 of this third quarter. Gallup, good tackle by Rodgers. Rodgers said, "You're not going to give me the pick. I'll get the guy on the edge." No gain.
You know, it's an amazing statistic. We've talked about Stephon Gilmore a lot, but Isaiah Rodgers, Brandon Faison, none of these cornerbacks, when they've been playing outside coming into this game, had given up a touchdown. That's almost unbelievable, isn't it?
It's December.
So this is a good defensive football team, and they're in a dogfight right now with one of the better teams in the league.
Only point to the quarter. Indianapolis's touchdown to Alec Pierce through 3 in Arlington. Cowboys 21, Colts 19. We drive to the fourth and drive you to downtown Dallas as Sunday Night Football continues after these messages. On this Sunday night, our aerial coverage from North Texas brought to you by Geico, and off we go to the fourth quarter. Dallas leading by just 2 over the Colts, 21-19. Mike Tirico, Chris Collinsworth, Melissa Stark, Terry McCauley. At the very beginning, we said the Indianapolis games against good teams, Kansas City, Philadelphia, they stayed right in it. Very similar score as we start the fourth quarter.
Yeah, and really the key sequence so far in the game was that sequence right before the half, right?
That's right.
When they gave up the turnover, and it comes back the other way to haunt them here. But the Dallas Cowboys, I tell you, this has been a tough battle, and this is a physical football team in the Colts, and they have earned their respect.
Prescott, 2nd and 10. Elliott, open field tackle. One more time from these corners and safeties. Rodney McLeod that time. They've completed 2 passes for no yards on this drive.
You know, the safeties on this team have been an interesting story all season long. It started off with Nick Cross, the young rookie, playing the strong safety position. Then he gave way to Rodney McLeod. And Rodney Thomas and Julian Blackman have kind of flip-flopped all season long on who was the starter. So they have been a work in progress back there.
There's a motion by CeeDee Lamb coming across the field. Dak's got him on the run. Past Franklin, picking up blocks. CeeDee Lamb, 1st and goal for Dallas. Talk about a number 1 receiver. 3rd and 10 on the move. Nobody could catch him.
Well, they don't have an answer, because as he comes across the field and tucks in his chain or whatever they was doing there, he comes over, and then this play right there. Because if he had just tried to split it up the field, I'm not sure he gets there. But it's sort of like watching Wayne Gretzky or somebody, just so fluid in and out of those cuts. Linebackers cannot make plays like that.
1st and goal from the 3. Dak, Gallup, got it. Dallas touchdown.
All the way around, this is that 180 catch. Watch Gallup here is going to get the body position and then just flip his entire body the other way, so that in fact you have your body and your back shielding the football to keep Isaiah Rodgers from knocking it out. Big time play.
All the way through to the ground, confirmed in replay. Big extra point to make it a 2-possession lead. Again, a good rush by this Colts special teams unit, but not through. Started the night with 1 touchdown. He's got 2 on this night. Michael Gallup back in the end zone. Dallas back on top, 28-19. And more important, Tua and the Dolphins, Justin Herbert and the Chargers. Coverage begins 7 Eastern on NBC and Peacock with Football Night in America. And of course, you have the Sunday Night 7 picks on the free-to-play NBC Sports Predictor app. Chance for $100,000 in the jackpot. Miami with the loss to San Francisco. The Chargers lose to the Raiders. So Miami at the moment the 6th seed at 8-4. The Chargers the 9, tied with New England at 6-6. The return for Dallas. Flowers gets to the edge, weaving through and wrestled out of bounds at the 27. Here's Melissa.
Mike, continuing with My Cause, My Cleats, Colts center Ryan Kelly is supporting Count the Kicks, which is a nonprofit organization dedicated to the prevention of stillbirth. Last December, Ryan and his wife Emma tragically lost their first child 19 weeks into Emma's pregnancy. Count the Kicks offers a free app for expectant parents to monitor their baby's fetal movements. He told me he's wearing the cleats to help promote healthy pregnancy and prevent premature death. And Count the Kicks has helped save babies in 26 states and 3 countries.
Wow. Thanks, Melissa. These guys use their platforms for many causes, so many of them personal, and they reach so many through it. Such a credit to them through their pain. Wiley Cox fumbled the football. It's recovered by Dallas, and is that Malik Hooker again? It is! Against his old team again! Touchdown, Dallas! The former Colt having a night against the old horseshoe.
If you're a Colts fan, you got something going. You're taking advantage of Micah Parsons with that inside rush, and then there it goes. I couldn't see.
It was Clark.
That was Clark who punched that thing out of there. And why not Malik Hooker? Oh, the Colts, they hung in there. They had so many different ways to stay in this game tonight, and they just couldn't put it over the top.
And Mo Alley Cox gets it in his hands. Trying to make a play there and turns it over. Dallas up 15. Going to go for 2 to try to make it a 3-score lead.
I tell you, this isn't the only good game Malik Hooker has had this season. He has played really, really well. One of the higher graded guys on this Cowboys defense.
For the 2, backwards pass. CD can throw. He does. And it was in the ground towards Noah Brown. So incomplete. Looked good on the chalkboard. Just didn't work out. The rookie Clark knocked it out. And Hooker scores 6 against his old team. Outsides there, Jim Irsay, the owner and CEO. Chris Ballard, the general manager. Got Matt Ryan in here. Irsay, it was very clear, was very unhappy with the way last year ended. Really forced the new quarterback in. That makes the huge turn to go to Jeff Saturday as the head coach. Matt Ryan signed to a 2-year deal, and Indianapolis has a lot of questions to answer to solve their continuing conundrum of who's the next quarterback in Indy. Dallas Flowers tries to snake through to get to the 22, and that is it. This Dallas defense given a lead, and this Dallas defense doesn't need a lot of help. They have been terrific throughout the season. You know, the Doomsday defense is the 4.0 version, second to San Francisco in points allowed per game. And what they do so well, limit you in the pass game. Only 178 passing yards allowed, tops in the league, in part because of the sack yardage too. Number 1 in the league with 47 sacks allowed, or against the other team, I should say, during the season. And Dan Quinn's second year as the coordinator has been a huge part of that. One of the players for Dallas on the kick return, C.J. Goodwin, is injured, and Dallas athletic training staff out taking a look at his left leg.
Well, Dan Quinn's much loved amongst this team, isn't he? And Micah Parsons, and he is very much sort of that father figure in the room, and he really was convinced from the beginning that multiple players could do multiple things, and he has so many guys that fit into that category. Jaron Kearse is certainly one. Dorrance Armstrong is certainly one, but Micah Parsons was the one that really put this defense over the top with his versatility and ability to make plays, and it was Dan Quinn from the very beginning that just kept building him up and just kept telling him how great he was, and there wasn't anything he couldn't do. And now it's interesting that he's sort of settled in after being, you know, 50-60% stand-up linebacker, now to being almost 85% or so on the edge and rushing the passer.
Goodwin helped off one of the key core special teams players, in addition to some depth on the corner, and Dallas is running thin over there with Anthony Brown hurt, Goodwin hurt, Trayvon Diggs and Kelvin Joseph man the corner spots for the moment for Dallas. Ryan on first down, throws it to Kylan Granson. The tight end is brought down by Deron Bland, who continues to light it up in the slot.
He looks good, doesn't he?
Really good.
He really does. Jordan Lewis, I thought that was just going to be one of those blows that really unsettled this defense, but to see Deron Bland make the kind of plays that he has been making, it's important. That slot player, he's like the third decision maker out there. Dan Quinn telling us, put a microphone on him in practice to see how he was calling the defenses and making the adjustments, and he did great.
2nd and 11. Good job against Parsons. Gave Ryan time to complete it. Paris Campbell, nice run after the catch to the 30-yard line. This Indianapolis team is odd because you look at times, you go, they got parts, they got receivers. We haven't seen Jelani Woods, who was a terrific tight end against Pittsburgh last week. Only 4 snaps tonight for Woods. It's been mostly Granson. You just feel like you get to this point where you're searching and searching. Is it going to be a big rebuild down the line for Indy? They still have some good pieces. His pass is incomplete, almost intercepted by Jaron Kearse. It was miscommunication with Granson, and Matt Ryan's letting him know about that. And Kearse thought he had one in his arms.
Yeah, Micah Parsons right in his face, but there have just been too many of these tonight where the throw was thrown one spot by a veteran quarterback, and the receiver, for whatever reason, wasn't quite on that same page. Here we go, 4th down.
And they'll go for it, down 15 with 12 minutes to go. Ryan slings it. Michael Pittman's got it. And it's 6'4", powerful receiver out of USC. Keeps this drive going at the 35.
And now you have to find out about Kelvin Joseph, right? If you're the Colts, you've got to give it a go over here. They're down to already missing 2 cornerbacks, and yet they keep flip-flopping around to make sure that Diggs is over here on the 3 receiver side.
Micah Parsons. You know, that defensive player of the year resume almost had a super highlight there.
He almost had a J.J. Watt moment, didn't he? He saw this one coming the whole way. Smart young man for someone with so little experience, especially so little experience playing on that edge.
You were talking to him about like when he found out he was really an elite athlete, dunking in 6th grade and all that stuff. See, he was so good in football. He was thinking, maybe I don't even need to go to college. Maybe go right to the NFL.
Yeah.
Ryan hit as he throws. It's complete to the 40-yard line, the forward progress for Kylan Granson. So you said it during our last Cowboys game. Is there a position on defense he can't play? So you asked him.
I did, and he said, yeah, I don't know if I could handle the pressure of quarterback. I was like, dude, I'm talking about the defensive side of the ball. And he said, you know, corner maybe a little challenge, but I just get up and jam them, and they wouldn't get off the ball. I think I could do it.
That was my favorite part. He talked himself into, I could play press bail. I'd catch anybody. He's pass rushing here, protected as Ryan throws for Granson, and that ball is intercepted. Another pick thrown, number 2 in the career of Deron Bland. Grabbed one against the Commanders, gets one against the Colts, and the 5th-round rookie out of Fresno State with the INT of the MVP.
Let's take a look at our next-gen stats powered by our friends at AWS. And what do they tell us? They tell us that this is a career high in shifts and motions tonight by CeeDee Lamb. And no matter what he did, if he's in motion, all his scrimmage yards came off of that motion. So it disturbed the Colts defensively, and to the point where he was having such an easy night, he just, you know, tucked a chain in, going across.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, what planet are these guys from? They're just playing football and making the hardest game in the world look like, we're just casually going about our business here.
So is that 1 chains as opposed to 2 chains? Run here for Pollard, no game. Well, I'm thinking about the Kansas City game when we saw Kadarius Toney, who used to be with the Giants, and he was fixing his gloves.
En route.
And before he caught a ball, it was his first touchdown. Did you do anything like that during a route? Tuck a chain back in, fix a glove?
Yeah, I had a lot of chains. I had no gloves. I probably would have. But no, we didn't have that fancy stuff then.
We were talking about that earlier tonight. The gloves, have allowed these guys to make some of these catches. And
that's right. It's the gloves.
No.
That's what it was.
Dak still throwing. Still moving the ball down the field. That was caught by Dalton Schultz inside the 30-yard line to the 28.
You know what I love, Mike, is when a quarterback is so mature in his knowledge of the game now. The minute they shift defenses and go to that single high, he comes bang right back to that seam up the middle to his tight end. And you can just tell Dak Prescott, as much as any quarterback in the National Football League, Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, any of them, is the leader of this team.
On the run, Pollard got a block, cutting back inside to the end zone for another Cowboy touchdown. And Tyler Smith led him to the end zone.
Check this out. Our guy Tyler Smith out in front, leading the way once again. He can move, but he can't move like Tony Pollard. Check out CeeDee Lamb down here. He's going to come down and make the key block on this play. He took care of Zaire Franklin, and then off to the races right there. This is a Dallas Cowboys team, sort of like watching Philadelphia as well today.
Talking about all the pressure. They could return this for 2, and it is Brian Anger goes over to tackle Okereke before he can bring it back for 2 on the blocked extra point. So the score is 40-19, and a couple of the scores have come from Tony Pollard. 2 touchdown runs tonight. This one to put the Cowboys up 21. You talk about offense, 185 points in the last 5, 40 points tonight. The 1968 Dallas Cowboys, 12-2 Cowboy team, coached by Tom Landry. Their quarterback was Dandy Don Meredith. Meredith was the quarterback for about 6 seasons with Dallas before Craig Morton for a couple, and then Roger Staubach. Don Perkins was the top runner on those Cowboy teams. Go back to when we started the season here on Sunday Night Football. It felt a little bit different than it does right now. Rough start to the season for Dallas, as now all concern in Cowboy land is that hand of Dak's.
Our coach doesn't have full control. There's not a culture of excellence. There's not a culture of wanting to win.
The problem is you don't know when to pass and when to run. Zeke should have had 30 carries in this game, not 10. Whew, gentlemen. 1 word, 2 syllables, brutal.
You think the calls tomorrow are a little bit different?
Won't be as brutal.
It's amazing how quick things flip in the league in 13 weeks. Here's Ryan throwing across the middle, incomplete, with a penalty flag down. Paris Campbell, the intended receiver. He was tackled back in the secondary. But Chris, that game.
Pass interference, number 26, defense, automatic, first down.
Tom Bland, who just had the pick on the last drive. That's the way it felt when we walked out of this booth. Like, wow, that was stunning. But there was a lot going on that night, including Dak Prescott's injury to his thumb, and he told us his ankle was bothering him as well. Remember, he had that deal where he put on a different shoe in practice, and it wasn't quite right, and it was the surgically repaired ankle from a couple of seasons ago. I talked to him about it this week. He wasn't feeling all that great. In the middle, that ball is pulled in, and Jelani Woods to the 29-yard line. It was a dangerous throw by Ryan, but Woods caught it, and it's a gain of 27.
Yeah, it's kind of nice to see Jelani Woods, isn't it? He had such a big game a week ago, and he hadn't played much tonight.
8 catches for 98 yards against the Steelers. We opened our eyes watching him. Matt Ryan's looking that way again. He's just going to throw this one incomplete. But back to Dallas. Getting healthy was big, and that time that Dak was away was huge for him and what Cooper Rush did for this team as well.
Cooper Rush is the guy who made this season. I mean, you can slice it any way you want, but when your backup quarterback wins 4 out of 5 games, did they have the numbers? Did they have the stats? Did they have? No. But Cooper Rush won 4 out of 5, and if not for him, they would have been sitting there looking at, 2-6 or whatever by the time that Dak got himself back. That's not 2-6.
Ryan's pass is
got it.
Intercepted. Bland again. He wrestled it away from a very strong guy in Ashton Doolin. And it's another Colts turnover, a third interception of Matt Ryan, a fourth turnover of the game.
Bland has been anything but since he's taken over that slot position.
Yeah.
I tell you, when you start making plays like that as a backup, you're going to get a lot of people's attention, and it really was. It was Dan Quinn who really just could not stop talking about this guy. I've got more notes on Deron Bland, I think, than I've got on anybody, but he really proved with his ability, the hardest part for that position is the communication, and when he had that, and Quinn knew that he did, he was unafraid to unleash his defense.
Ezekiel Elliott spinning and turning. He'll get 2 there. India's turned it over on its last 3 drives. And on the Colts side, you don't know why they happen, turnovers, and your inability to force them. But, man, when it starts becoming this avalanche, it's a problem. They tied with Dallas for the best in the NFL last year, a +14 turnover ratio. Now they're the second worst. Only New Orleans is worse. Saints play the Buccaneers tomorrow night.
So what do you think they do at quarterback?
You mean for the next 8 minutes?
No.
Oh, that's going to
bail on
me there a little bit. Here's Elliott. Zaire Franklin with the tackle. It'll be 3rd down coming up. Well, you look at the record. They'll lose this game. They'll go to 4-8-1. Any playoff chances essentially are gone. We mentioned Nick Foles is backing up tonight, not Sam Ehlinger. So do you play Foles? Or do you see what you have at Ehlinger at some point here? Or Jeff Saturday talked to Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan wanted to come back and play. He had an honest conversation because, remember, Ryan was hurt and benched. And Saturday said, hey, I know what that's all about because when he was in Green Bay at the end of his career playing for Mike McCarthy, Packers made the playoffs and Saturday was benched for that playoff run. Ryan told him, I want to play. The question is how long? Shot play. Dak. Downfield. Noah Brown cannot bring it in, but there's a flag down for pass interference. And the Cowboys keep going after it.
Pass interference, number 31, defense, automatic first down.
Wow, I don't know about that one. That's offensive pass interference if it's anything. Look at Brown's going to give him a bear hug and pull him into him.
Brandon Faison is the DB.
Terry, help me. That's not it. Come on.
It is absolutely not it is absolutely not defensive pass interference, Chris. He absolutely grabs the defender and pulls him into him. It's not DPI.
You and I are having a bonding moment right here.
Absolutely. We might as well.
Zeke turns the corner. High steps to the 5-yard line. Dallas just pouring it on here and having some fun. But Chris said something as we were watching film last week that Zeke looked like he was gliding again. You saw a little bit of it as he hit another gear turning that corner there.
Yeah, he even threw a little Dion high step at him right here. Look at that, boy. If he just tuck in his chain, he'd be my all-time hero. No, but I you know, Mike, you're right. I thought Ezekiel Elliott, when he's at his best, they're not like heavy cuts. It's just a glide. It's not quite Marcus Allen, but you know what I'm saying.
To the crowd, they're chanting for Zeke. He's got it. And he gets inside the 4. Like, they love Pollard, but Zeke is still their guy. And there are so many Zeke jerseys around. There's a little connection with Zeke and the fans here that they appreciate his greatness so much.
And if you've ever been to a Cowboys training camp practice or whatever, he's the personality of the team. I mean, he's always cutting up and having fun, and he's the one that welcomes in Tony Pollard. He's the one that made it work. Listen to him.
Dak's like, simmer down. I got a call here. I got to call the play. Switch Zeke over. He's got it, and he's got it. Elliott, touchdown. Oh, are they going over to the kennel? Kennel time.
All right, Mike, tell the whole story. They got the fine this week, right? The whole thing.
So they score on Thanksgiving. Peyton Hendershot does, and Hendershot and Sean McKeon and Jake Ferguson and Dalton Schultz, all the tight ends, followed Zeke from several years ago going in the Salvation Army kettle. And Friday, we're talking to the tight ends coach, and all the tight ends are playing well. The extra point added, 47-19. Talking about the tight ends, and yeah, good group, but maybe you want to talk to them right now. They all got their fine envelopes. So Zeke pays everybody back.
So watch Prescott here. He's going to move him over here. Got a little bubble right here. Let's run back to the bubble. Now we don't want to go the other way where there's 3 big D linemen. Let's go that way to the bubble. Good job by Dak Prescott. Good job by Zeke. Good job by the Salvation Army. Going to make some more money off of the fact that the NFL fined all those players. So you knew payback was coming from the Cowboys.
Dak Prescott in the mix as well. Crank him up. Get him out there. Here was Thanksgiving.
The whack-a-mole was fantastic.
Right?
Now, we've seen it was Zeke originally who jumped in it,
yes.
right? So now here goes all 4 of them. But you got to have something. You can't just jump in it. So what do you got to do? Whack-a-mole, and there it is. with the shake 'em up.
Fabulous.
Now, that's what pro football players do when they have some spare time. They sit around, get the camera, get out here. What are you doing? Just crank it up, and then you go, you feed me. Yes, feed me. Because the crowd was screaming his name.
That's beautiful.
That's what I miss about playing football. This is stupid stuff.
Dallas Flowers out to the 24-yard line. Apparently, our stupid stuff is not a replacement for that stupid stuff.
No,
it's not.
But you got to be happy, right, for Zeke, because this team's going to be under pressure next year. He has a big salary, and they're not committed to it for the first time.
But nothing's guaranteed.
Nothing's
right.
guaranteed, and it's going to. There are a lot of interesting decisions about this Cowboys football team next year, but none of that matters right now. We might as well start talking about OBJ as well, because that fits into this conversation too.
This was a 2-point game after the 3rd quarter, and Dallas, in 9 minutes of the 4th quarter, has set a Cowboy record for most 4th quarter points with 26 to make it 47-19. Well,
look at Dak. He did the same thing I was thinking, because when Zeke got up out of the kettle, he gave it this little wobble, like the Jalen Waddle thing, you know? It was perfect.
Looks like they will happily pay that fine that would be coming for that.
I mean, really, should we have a fine
for
jumping into Salvation?
Thank you. I was going to say it, but I'm glad you did.
I mean, you know, they ring the bell and they do so many great things. And
the awareness it brings with Thanksgiving and all that stuff.
The Cowboys have been doing this for years. And
I agree with you.
Yeah, the NFL's done all right as a business. I guess they know more than we do. But occasionally, just bend the rules a little, right? Just bend them. You don't have to break them.
Matt Ryan still in there. Jonathan Taylor going to be pulled down here at the 29-yard line. One of the concerns for the Cowboys going into this stretch here was this stretch of 3 games. And they were playing teams from the AFC South in Indianapolis and Houston and at Jacksonville, and presumed would be significant favorites, double-digit favorites in those games going in. And would the Cowboys have a letdown? Because they can't if they want to have any hope of catching Philadelphia. Eagles 2 ahead of the Cowboys, won the first game. They'll have the matchup on Christmas Eve. Ryan here on 4th down, completes it. Pierce had it pulled out. And if he's not down, it's yet another turnover. And it is. They point to Dallas. Cowboy ball. The 5th turnover. Jaron Kearse had his hand in there to take it away from Alec Pierce.
Take a look. There it is. And I do think this ball comes out before the knee goes down. I think he's down too.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
So
that won't take long.
Nope. Should be a little quick expedited review and get the offense off the field for the Cowboys and the defense back out there. And not a 5th turnover for Dallas.
So OBJ, what happens? Come on, you've got all the insider knowledge.
I've got nothing. So he went to the Giants. Odell Beckham Jr., of course, the free agent, off the knee injury, went to the Giants, went to the Buffalo Bills, scheduled to come here and visit tomorrow. And these teams have to make a decision because there is a difficulty to this. Here's the switch of units here. They'll reverse this. It's a tough one because he's not working out for these teams. So how do you know what you're getting?
After review, it is a catch, and the receiver was down by contact. First down, Indianapolis.
Well, he would only have one choice if it were me. I'd have to see it. Because what I'm interested in, if I'm Jerry Jones, is winning a Super Bowl this year. Right?
Right.
And if you're not working out, I'm not signing you. You've got to see something, right? You've got to be willing to. They have some tapes, they have something, but you got to see it yourself.
Right. That's going to be the problem because all 3 teams are in that same boat. Now, let me ask you this for the Cowboys. You've got James Washington coming back at receiver, and you have 3 receivers. That would be a 4th good receiver. So, do you really need Odell Beckham Jr. at this point? You're scoring 47 points here against a good defense. His pass nearly intercepted by Kelvin Joseph, dropping back in coverage.
The answer is absolutely yes if it's OBJ. But this is, 10 months since the Super Bowl? Whatever that is. Yeah. And you have to, if I'm paying that money and cutting into future budgets as well.
Right, because he doesn't want a deal for this year. He wants a deal for a couple of years.
But I'm wanting him for this year. I don't care about next year.
Ryan in trouble and gets sacked. The ball comes out as Matt got twisted there. Sam Williams picks it up, takes it back the other way. For the moment, ruled a touchdown. Ryan got hit by 2 as that ball came out, and Williams, the rookie, takes it back the other way.
So Diggy Zuwa, let's take a look. He's going to come right up the middle here to make this play.
Ball is out.
Jeez,
Williams,
what a night.
Yeah, right.
No question.
Yeah, Williams is contacted as he gets the ball. Is his knee still down as he does? Knee down, touch.
Yeah.
We'll have to see if
you couldn't see that he was touched.
Right. Let's see if Will Fries made contact with his upper body. This will give us a better look at that. Clearly the ball out as Ryan just got crushed there. It's been such a tough night. Fries.
Yeah, we're going to get Fries with that.
No, you didn't say that, did you? Cowboys have the extra point team on as Williams, who has come on over the last few games. Again, the variety of pass rushers this Dallas team can bring.
Man, it became a feeding frenzy in a hurry, didn't it?
It's unbelievable.
And you knew the minute that it wasn't the Colts style of play that it was going to happen. There was no way they were going to be able to pass protect. I mean, they had Braden Smith, who was the right tackle, out of the game. So basically you're trying with a rookie on the left side and a backup tackle on the other side. You had to really sort of double team. But I give Dan Quinn credit. When this game was up for grabs, he started blitzing, especially on 3rd down, and completely turned it around.
After review, it is a fumble. The recovering player is down by contact at the 29-yard line. It will be Dallas ball, 1st down.
And Dan Quinn, as you said, he knows Matt Ryan as well as anybody knows what's going to give Matt problems, but that pressure is going to give any quarterback problems, and we have seen it with their sack numbers throughout the year. That is a 5th turnover forced by the Cowboys here tonight. Cooper Rush is in at quarterback for Dallas, and Malik Davis, the rookie, in at running back, and he is pulled down as he limits the game. Bobby Okereke on the tackle. Wow, look at that score by quarter, 26.
So what do you think so far here at the NFC? We just saw Philly, see the Cowboys. Both of them have defense. Both of them have high-end offenses. You got the 49ers sitting out there.
Don't forget Minnesota.
Minnesota for sure.
And Dallas fans are going, yeah, went there and won 40-3. Demolished Minnesota.
Well, that's what I think for a lot of prognosticators out there, that one sort of tilted away from Minnesota in the conversations that I've had, you know, that it kind of turned into that big three with San Francisco and those two teams.
Well, we talked about this. Philly, Minnesota, San Francisco, Dallas looked like the four that had just a little bit extra about them, right? And now San Francisco loses Jimmy Garoppolo. And Brock Purdy came in and won the game against a good Miami team, but let's see what happens the rest of the way with them. Dallas, I think we can get Steve Kornacki to project Dallas with a victory here at 9-3. But the interesting thing, Chris, Dallas could end up 4 games better than Tampa Bay or whoever wins the South, and they're going to have to play a road first playoff game.
Yeah, against a team that has a little history against them.
Davis on the run. Malik Davis, first NFL touchdown. And the burger is 50. 53.
The big guy in there, take a look. One of my favorites, Jason Peters, and a good block out to the outside as well. That's Peyton Hendershot to spring that one, but we have just seen an explosion. And I tell you, it is hard sometimes to keep fighting when you're getting avalanched. If you've played this game long enough, at some point or another, you've been avalanched, and that's what's happened here.
I don't know if I've ever seen a 33-0 quarter. And that's what we have right now. You know, Maria was joking with Jason at halftime in the studio because Jason said the Cowboys are going to win by 40. And at halftime, it was an 8-point game. And right now, leads 35. Jason Garrett knows a thing or two about these Cowboys. 54-19 with 2:25 to go. So what do you think about the NFC? You asked me. You're the expert here.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Philadelphia seems to have a lot of ways to win the football game.
Showed it today, right?
Yeah, I mean, they just have a lot of different ways to win it. And Jalen's just having one of those kind of years. The Cowboys do too. And I hate to even say it because I've kind of been arguing against OBJ. But if they had that third guy, if they had an OBJ and somebody had to go guard him one-on-one, and he's anywhere close to what he was before, I think if I were Jerry, I would go, look, I've got this briefcase full of money. All I need to do is see you run 6 routes. That's all I got. That's all I need. You run these 6 routes, and I'm going to hand you this contract right here. Go put your cleats on. I got to see it, though.
Can I be a contrarian?
Sure.
Would adding OBJ mess up with it? They got a great thing. And it's not just 54 points, whatever it is. Yeah, 54 on the board. We were at their facility Friday. Like, these guys like each other. It's perfect right now in this locker room. Here's the return by Isaiah Rodgers. Good job by Rodgers, 31.
The old OBJ, the young OBJ, maybe. I don't think he's that guy anymore. I really don't. They loved him with the Rams.
Yes,
they did.
Absolutely.
And he fit in perfectly with that. There's no question about it.
Very fair. 4 turnovers, last 4 drives in the fourth quarter for Indianapolis. And Dallas has scored 5 touchdowns on the 5 Indy turnovers. And you see Mike McCarthy and Dak Prescott. You know, you go in and do these meetings we always talk about. You talk to the coaches about, hey, the quarterback, what's the update? And you kind of asked Mike McCarthy, and he was almost dumbfounded because it's like there's nothing to say. He said he's been the same guy since the very first lunch we had the day I got hired. He's a steady leader. This is Zach Moss with a run here that should take us to the 2-minute warning.
You know,
same guy every day, and that's a beautiful trait to have in the face of the franchise.
And the other thing that he does is he's a man of the people. He is a guy in the locker room with the guys, playing cards with the equipment guys and everybody else. I mean, he brings that group together.
See that red challenge flag back there? They just took it from Mike McCarthy. And we were talking to Mike about Jeff Saturday, what he's going through. And actually, we were talking to Dan Quinn, excuse me, about that, right? And Dan said, hey, I understand what Jeff Saturday was going through, the Pittsburgh game on Monday night when everybody wanted the timeout. And Jeff came out and said, yeah, we should have called timeout. Dan said, my first couple of games, those preseason games, it was figuring out the system. Hey, who's going to come take the challenge flag at 2 minutes so I don't throw it and get a penalty because you can't challenge in the last 2. There's a process of learning how to be a head coach at the NFL level that Jeff is trying to jump into and save this fourth quarter. The quarters under his leadership for 15 quarters, this team has been competitive, but this one's gotten away from it.
Yeah, and now you get to try a new part of coaching, right? I mean, this is an embarrassment on national television, and now you find out what kind of faith they have in you.
Indianapolis is off next week, and their schedule is not easy down the stretch because they go to Minnesota, play the Chargers, play the Giants. Those are 3 teams that in all likelihood will be needing those games in their playoff push, and then they will close with the Texans in week 18.
So this team really has been beaten badly twice before tonight. And every other game, they have been in it or won it. But tonight, once it just got away a little bit, they had to get into that drop back passing mode. It just has not been there.
Loss on the run. Speaking of beaten badly, divisions play against the whole of another division in the other conference. So the NFC East play the AFC South. If you want to know one reason why the whole NFC East is above 500, it's the AFC South. This will be 12 games, 11 wins by the NFC East over the AFC South, 2 today. And the Cowboys have 2 more games against the AFC South coming up.
But think about how different the NFC is this year from what everybody thought it was going to be. No Green Bay. Tampa's not doing so well. Dallas is not in first place. The Rams are nowhere to be found. This is a very different year than was anticipated by most in the NFC.
No doubt. Over here in Arlington. Second highest scoring fourth quarter in NFL history, 33 from Dallas. Cowboys improved to 9-3. The Colts fall to 4-8-1. And Dallas have Houston come visit here. Team with the worst record in the NFL look to continue on their roll and on their path. See if they can keep the heat on the Eagles. 54-19 the final. The SNF postgame is coming up after these messages from your local NBC station.